You know, for wrestling fans, the Royal Rumble's like Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. I got a CM Punk shirt on. I got CM Punk's favorite beverage. He is Tomas, the biggest Cody crybaby on the planet. I am Zach. Where are you going? Where are you going? You showing me Cope?
Yeah,
Showing me? Yeah, no, I need
kind of
to.
awkward. Kind of awkward that this is the shirt I
Kind of
went with today.
awkward. Yeah, former Royal Rumble winner twice there, and I'm wearing.
Yes.
I'm wearing. Spoiler alert. Somebody who's never won the Royal Rumble before.
Yeah. Before Zach, I was in the flow, so I apologize. And let
It's
me finish
okay.
that off. This is the Z-Man, Zach. I am the T-Man, Tomas. We love pro
Z-Man.
wrestling. We love talking about pro wrestling. And ladies and gentlemen, you smell that? It's that time of the year again. It's WrestleMania season. And how else could you kick off WrestleMania season with my favorite pay-per-view of the year aside from WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble? I feel like the Royal Rumble gets bigger and better every year. And under the Triple H regime, this year and last year have to be the best booked Royal Rumbles I've ever seen. It's just getting better. They are focusing more on what talent they have while still keeping the surprise factors. They weren't perfect by any stretch of the mean, but it's like it's that giddy feeling of anxiety I get on the eve of the Royal Rumble where I'm just like, who are we gonna see? What interactions are we gonna see? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? It's like, aside from WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble has to bring out the most emotion out of me as a pro wrestling fan, and this show was no different. This was very fun. This was very good. And I think you're gonna be a
Yeah.
little shocked of what I end up giving this Royal Rumble, because this is by far one of my favorite Royal Rumbles, like in
Yeah.
recent history.
You know, I've had a couple days to sit on it. I had the company over. We were watching the show. My girlfriend was having fun with it because the Royal Rumble can get any casual viewer into wrestling. Um, I think this Royal Rumble is going to go down as an all-timer. I think it's going to go down with the absolute best of them. The crowd in Indianapolis, Indiana, absolutely got their money's worth in the Colts Stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium, a beautiful venue, might I add. It's the same venue that's going to get a WrestleMania and a SummerSlam in the near future. Pat McAfee sitting in on commentary, so it's going to be a pretty storied wrestling city for years to come. And this is just another storied chapter in the Indianapolis wrestling story. This Royal Rumble 2025, like under the Triple H umbrella, this has been my favorite overall event from start to finish that he's booked, like Royal Rumble wise. As far as all time WWE goes, like it's only been a couple days. I'm still sitting on it, but this was an amazing show. Absolutely
This was
tremendous.
so good, so fun. And can you remember the last time you were this excited for a road to WrestleMania? We have so many possibilities.
Oh, I
There's so
know.
many.
I know when we were actually fucking going. And
Yeah,
we were gonna go this year if TKO wasn't fucking stingy and charging thousands of dollars up the ass just to sit in the nosebleeds. I see that sign go up and I'm like, we should be fucking there. If WWE wasn't fucking greedy right now, we would be so much more fucking hyped for Mania
for
if we
sure.
were
But when
going.
it comes
But
to the overall narrative, this has to be the start and one of the most anticipated roads to WrestleMania. We have so many possibilities for so many different matches.
oh
I have
yeah,
6 or 7 ideas in mind that I don't even know if all these are going to go through, but it is so cool to look at what the Royal Rumble brought and think maybe these people can fight. Maybe these two women can fight. Maybe these two men can fight. What's happening here? What's going on there? And especially when we get to the men's Royal Rumble, there were 6 or 7 people you easily could have slotted into that winning spot.
oh
And
yeah.
I know this show's a couple of days old, and I'm pretty sure it's out there in the open. But the winner, he was the last person on my list. But
Never.
regardless,
Oh,
I'm so happy. I'm happy.
me too. Me too. It's we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, we'll just start from the beginning. This show, like we said, took place in Indianapolis on February 1st, which again is very odd for a Royal Rumble to take place in the month of February. We open and Stephanie McMahon is introduced, and she's back. It looks like full time with the company on the board because her dad is long gone. Thank fucking Christ, Vince McMahon is out of here.
Can
And
I take this moment
yeah,
to just acknowledge I am so happy that the fans didn't turn on Stephanie. They didn't lump her in with their father's actions. They
Yeah.
see Stephanie, and all jokes aside, it's like they see their mother. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they're so happy to see her. She's always recepted very well. They know she's not lumped into all of that controversy. They know she's not a guilty by association. It's just so nice to see that the fans didn't turn on her.
Yeah.
And I feel like she showed up enough that it's not really a surprise, but I am happy when she shows up on television. I don't want
Yeah.
to see her in any storylines. I don't want to see her more than we need to. I think her and Triple H need to be like, listen, make fun of Triple H all you want. We know his opening promos to shows may have gotten a little stale. We've seen it enough. Like, it's really just Triple H, jacking himself off for all the accomplishments he's made since taking over. But, let's just keep Triple H and Stephanie to that. Triple H, he's a little more involved. Occasionally he'll come out and cut a promo, but Triple H isn't the centerpiece to a lot of feuds like Vince McMahon was. So I think Triple H needs to be like the Wizard of Oz. He needs to be the man behind the curtain.
Yes.
He needs to be the one that we know he's there, but we don't see him.
He's the ringmaster. He's the ruler of the circus, if you will. And Stephanie shows back up just in time to see her husband get inducted into the Hall of Fame this year too. Triple H was confirmed to be the headliner for the Hall of Fame class. He had no idea. Nick Khan made that call. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker both go out during a board meeting to confirm the induction, and Hunter sits there and he's like, I'm at a loss for words. I'm going to kill Nick later. But it's
because reports said that Triple H said when he took over, he did not want to go into the Hall of Fame while he was head of creative. But looks like his buddies in WWE said, you know what, this one time we don't care what you say, and we're going to go against your orders. It's cool. I think it's better to do it now, better now than ever, because as the years go on, we don't know how this is going to go for Triple H. I hope it is a long-term deal, but might as well strike while the iron's hot, get all of, stroke Triple H's ego while you can. So good for Triple H. But on to this Royal Rumble, I was hoping we started off with a bang, and we sure did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, it's it's a tradition that started back in 2018, Tomas. And Alicia Taylor is in the ring to go over the rules of the Royal Rumble. It's Taylor's old as time. If you're a wrestling fan, you know how a Royal Rumble works. But if you've never seen a Royal Rumble match before, basically you start off with two people in the ring. Every 2 minutes in this case, WWE extended it from 90 seconds. Every 2 minutes, new competitor goes in. You're eliminated when you're thrown over the top rope with both feet hitting the floor. Last one standing gets a title shot at WrestleMania.
Two things before we start. Number one, and this may be a little unrelated, but I noticed it a lot with this show. We understand that Alicia Taylor is not Samantha Irvin. We know that Samantha Irvin left a huge gaping hole of her legacy when she was just getting started. And I've seen a lot of hate for Alicia Taylor. Allow me to be the one to say we do not accept any Alicia Taylor slander in this chat. I think she is doing a magnificent job as a ring announcer. And she put the work in this show. Because if there is one thing I have not seen praise about Alicia Taylor, she has a powerful voice. And her stance and her announcements are really good. I know she's not Samantha Irvin, but I think we should give her a chance. And I think it's fair to say we've seen far worse when it comes to ring announcers. Look, I was just as happy to see Lillian Garcia return, but I'm sorry. It sounds like she's not trying.
Well, I mean, Lillian Garcia has also been doing it for over 2 decades, so it's like she could do ring announcing in her sleep by this point.
No, I mean, she's messing up a lot. A lot.
Well, she messed up even when she was in her prime, calling it the Women's Royal Rumble. Remember that?
It's just I mean, I'm not even, and again, I'm not trying to slander Garcia, but it's just something I noticed. And when we get to the WWE Championship match, I just noticed even Cody was trying to connect with her. Cody's trying to get her over. So if I ask anything of the fans, it's not fair to slander Alicia Taylor just because she's not Samantha Irvin.
Well, Cody connects with everybody. Cody, always, even when Samantha Irvin was doing ring announcing, Cody was like, come on, give me more. But
it's
anyway.
Cool to see, the WWE champion putting over the ring announcer. I think that's cool. So that's all I ask. I think she's a damn fine ring announcer. She's not problematic like Greg Hamilton. She's not, a douchebag like Justin Roberts. Give her a chance. I think she was great in NXT, and I think she's doing very well on Raw.
Oh yeah, big time. But we start off with the women's version, don't we?
Yep, women's Royal Rumble time, and we're all eagerly waiting to see who number one is. And number one was my pick, Io Sky, the genius of the sky. One of my favorite things is seeing number one and number two run the gauntlet, and I was prepared to see Io Sky run the gauntlet against number two, Liv Morgan. I feel like Liv Morgan, she might as well rent out the number one and number two spot because we've seen Liv Morgan in this position before. And I think it's fair to say Liv Morgan is the true Iron Woman of WWE. She has the stamina, she has the longevity, and she does not shy away from being in this position. And it's really cool. Like, this woman has worked so fucking hard this year, and she deserves every single accolade that has come her way. And if you think just because she lost the women's championship, it's done for her, no. This is just the start for Liv Morgan.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere for a long time, and I'm so proud to say that about Liv Morgan. A 2024, for a banner year for her. But I will say, Io Sky was one of my picks to win the Rumble, but as soon as I saw her come out at number one, I thought, she ain't winning. She ain't winning. There's no way.
It was in the back of my mind too, but I really wanted to see her run the gauntlet, and I feel like Io Sky wasn't talked about enough in the build to this Rumble that she could kind of pull out that underdog dark horse win, but more on that as we go on.
Well, how many times in the Women's Royal Rumble, especially in the past number of years, have we seen women run the gauntlet and win the whole thing? Past couple of years, Triple H has done that with both Rhea and Bayley. So it wasn't going to be a third year in a row.
Bianca Belair, she went from like number two or number three.
Yeah, but that was Vince booking it too. I'm just talking about.
It doesn't matter. Like, still, they've done a lot with the women.
Right, yeah. So I figured, our winner is probably going to come in a later entry, and sure enough, it did. Number three,
continue. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I had entered a Royal Rumble pool to win a copy of WWE 2K25, the Bloodline Edition. My number was 30, and looking at both of these Rumble matches, I was fucked.
Why?
I was absolutely fucked.
Why? I mean, come on. Number 30 wins. Number 30 is the luckiest number you can get. Five or six winners from number 30 in Rumble history. So.
No, I'm talking about after the fact when I saw who was number 30 for the men's and the women. I was like, I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't betting actual money, or I would probably be eating ice cube sandwiches right now. But
Yep.
It was free to enter, and now I just have to pay $70 like everybody else to get the game. First world problems.
Yeah, there you go. But Liv and Io, by the way, they revisited a match that they had at Saturday Night's Main Event last month, and they have a really nice little sequence. Number three is the Prodigy from NXT, Roxanne Perez, and we're going to be talking about her quite a bit over this next little while. She comes out there, third straight year she's in the Rumble. She's had a bit of a beef with Bayley lately. She goes in there, and she continues to prove why she's one of my favorite women's wrestlers in NXT. My
first thought when Roxanne Perez entered was, for the love of God, can we call this girl up already?
Please!
This is her third Royal Rumble appearance, and I feel like she's been in NXT for like 5 years. She's been there since 2021.
She was main roster ready a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's time. It is absolutely time. And I am going to call my shot. By the Royal Rumble next year, once it goes to Riyadh, Roxanne Perez will be either the world champion or the WWE Women's Champion. Mark my words.
She's a star in the making, for sure.
Yep.
Up next, speaking of champions and NXT, the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. We have not gotten a chance to talk about her. Valkyria defeated
Dakota Kai.
Mm-hmm. Dakota Kai to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Good for her. Like you said before, this is how you build new stars. I feel like Valkyria has been connecting with the crowd very well. She is a very likable babyface. She has a fun gimmick. She's a good wrestler. And I think this title is going to be proven well to put her over. But unfortunately, as Valkyria enters the match, she's wrestling for all of 30 seconds, and her top becomes unbuttoned.
Yeah.
And this poor girl is trying to strap it back on, but can't. I noticed that Liv Morgan comes in with a flying forearm to take her out, and I'm just like, can you let this poor girl get her top back on? I think Morgan did that on purpose.
Totally.
So Valkyria could powder to the corner and finally get her clothes fixed. I noticed the referee go over to fix her costume, and when she did, the crowd gave her a round of applause. So that was
Oh, yeah.
unfortunate, but pretty funny at the end of the day.
Props to Liv Morgan also for looking out for her coworkers and making sure her top just doesn't fly off in front of 60,000 strong. I was also, before we continue, I was also in the building when Lyra Valkyria won the Women's Intercontinental Championship over Dakota Kai, and the crowd was very happy. The crowd was extremely happy. Lyra Valkyria was an extremely likable presence in that building. Another one with a very bright future. I will just tell you that much. Number 5, speaking of bright futures and mid-card champions, it's Chelsea Green.
The women's United States champion is making her way to the ring. And I noticed throughout this match, I feel like this was the crowd's pick. A lot of people wanted to see Chelsea Green. And you know what? One day. But one thing at a time. Chelsea Green needs to hold this United States championship. She is so entertaining as the United States champion. And you know what? One day, Chelsea Green will win the Women's Royal Rumble. She will win a Women's World title. And the roof is going to come off the building when she does.
Oh, it better, because this gimmick that she's doing with the U.S. title, even though she's Canadian and calling it the Chelsea Green States of America, like
actually should.
Yeah, and she has like a presidential seal on her like LED now, and I'm like, man, I wish that was a presidential seal right now. I'll tell you that much.
It's only a matter of time until Chelsea Green delivers a State of the Union address, and I will be dropping whatever I do, and I'll be watching with great intent.
Oh yeah.
Number 6 is BFAB. I feel like BFAB, she gets forgotten a lot because she's not featured as much as I think she should. I think she's a fine enough wrestler, but they don't really do anything with her.
Nope.
So, I mean, not trying to slander her whatsoever. Just every time I see BFAB, I go, oh yeah, you're on the roster, and I wish I could see more of you. I mean, I know she's been featured a little more in SmackDown the past couple weeks, but I mean, and I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just saying every time I see her, I think, wow, how have you avoided getting featured endeavored yet? I don't want her to. I really don't want her to.
I don't either. But BFAB.
But it's just like every time I see her, I'm like impressed. I'm like, okay, like you must have a friend. You must have a friend in the higher ups because she's not a bad wrestler. They just don't use her, and I'm scared she's just going to get forgotten about. One day I'm going to go on the website and it's going to be like, BFAB has been released from WWE, and I'm going to be sad.
So this brings me to my first issue with this Women's Rumble. A lot of these women, unfortunately, didn't get as much of a reaction as they probably should have. And especially true when BFAB came out, because the music played, I was sitting on the couch with Lindsay over here next to me, and I was just kind of squinting my eyes just to try and read a name, because I could not fucking decipher who it was, just based off the music.
Thank you.
I could not fucking figure it out.
Listen, I'm probably the definition of pro wrestling brain rot. I am the person that you play a theme song, and within half a second, I can decipher who it is. The current women in WWE do not have recognizable theme music. And
they're horrible.
Because I'm sitting here with my casual friend watching wrestling, and I want to be the guy to let him know who all these people are right off the bat. And I could name off 10 people in this match that I was like, oh, it's that person. And I feel dumb.
Right.
So what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. But number 7 is Ivy Nile, the pit bull from American Made. And this is actually, on the contrary, I actually think this is a pretty good Def Rebel theme.
I was just going to say that.
Because the crowd is actually playing along with the joke that Def Rebel put in with American Made's theme song. Everybody's been comparing Chad Gable to a much younger 2000 Kurt Angle. Like, there's just no escaping that. So when Chad Gable turned heel on Alpha Academy and they gave him Ivy Nile, they gave him the Creed brothers, American Made was formed and they get a brand new theme song and you hear dun dun in like a lower baritone and the crowd catches on, and especially when Ivy Nile runs out, they chant, "You suck. You suck." Like,
I just wish American Made was booked better as Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
that's my issue.
Well,
and you know what? Party of one. Give me a private room. I bop to American Made's theme song.
You suck.
The only one in that party, and I'm okay with that.
So this will also be true in the men's rumble when Chad Gable comes out. But both him and Ivy Nile, when the crowd chants "You suck" at them, are so offended, and I'm like, good, good. You should be. You should
Chad
be.
Gable should censor the crowd.
Yeah, he should, shouldn't he? A callback to 2005 Kurt Angle.
I just hope that Chad Gable doesn't cut a promo like on Penta and says, "Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is that you're a boy and I'm a man, and this is a man's world, and I'm a man who loves to play with boys." No. That's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say
was, this is where the big men play. This is where the big men play.
I'm going to enjoy getting on top of you. And no. That's not what I'm saying. No, stop.
Fucking love that promo. There was one spot that I missed that I wanted to talk about when Chelsea Green comes out. She tosses Io Sky out of the ring and eliminates her. She tosses Liv Morgan out of the ring and eliminates her. She tosses Roxanne out of the ring and eliminates her. Then she tosses Lyra out and eliminates her. Chelsea Green is in the ring all by herself, and she is just like saluting the crowd, and she's like, shh. Just kidding. She doesn't eliminate anybody, but they all
but
beat
all
her
the
up.
women in the match do decide to surround her and start beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
That's ladies. Hey, that is our president, and you will not treat her with that disrespect.
Well, I mean, our other countries are already treating our joke of a president with disrespect anyway, so...
But yeah. Chelsea Green is our real president, okay?
Yeah, Chelsea Green is our real president, even though she's Canadian.
She is the president of the United States of Canada. I would not let you disrespect my president like that.
I would vote for Chelsea Green. Number 8 is Zoe Stark from the Pure Fusion Collective. I'm not a fan of Zoe Stark, as you guys are all well aware.
She's a good wrestler.
Well, she did slip off the top rope and almost fucking kill herself. So I'm like, that. Yeah, you botched too much. So
she's a great wrestler.
No, she's not.
If you follow her on TikTok, she posts funny videos, so she has a personality. She likes harassing Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, good. Number 9 is another NXT contingent to us. Who do we got?
Lash Legend of Metaphor. I know we've talked about Lash.
Who?
We've talked about Lash Legend before on this podcast when her and Jakara Jackson challenged for the women's tag team titles. Lash Legend is starting to build some momentum at NXT. She is an absolute unit of a woman. She is up there with like Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And I like Lash Legend. I'm a fan. I'm glad they're testing the waters with her. I don't want to see a full-blown push out of nowhere because, there's still work to be done. I'm glad she's in NXT. But this is what I like about the Royal Rumble. It really is a testing ground for, let's see how the crowd reacts to these people. And she is an absolute powerhouse in this match.
She is an absolute unit. This is where Chelsea Green tosses B-Fab out of the ring for the first elimination of the night. 9 women have entered, and we finally get our first elimination. That was another kind of issue I had with this.
No. I'm going to stop you right now. I like when the ring fills up.
There were too many women in there, though, to really do anything.
But I like, it's so boring when there's only like 3 people at a time. Like, I want to see how long these women are going to last. I'm not saying fill it up with like 20, but
It almost did, though. It almost did.
Some of these women, have run times in this. And there is something we failed to mention. This is the Royal Rumble. On the bottom of the screen, on a little banner, like you would see during a football game, a baseball game, a basketball game, they show you how many people are in the ring, who's active, and who's the next number coming up. Yeah, I like this. And anytime somebody would come out, you would get their name, their picture, where they're from, a couple of stats about them. I think this was a nice touch, especially when you're watching the Royal Rumble. It's very easy to get lost in amongst all of it. And, you forget who's in there, how many people are in there, what number you're at. So this was a nice little touch that WWE added.
Totally.
It went a little overboard because during the men's match, you saw, here are winning numbers. And I'm like, okay, that's too much. I'm not looking at that.
Well, it also helps benefit the match and the actual presentation because, number one, as someone with OCD, I'm like, I love when they show stats like this. Like, I loved it when they showed how long women were in the match last year and they showed the timer. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah, I love that. Number two, it also helps benefit it because the commentators can actually focus on the story that's going on in the ring instead of Michael Cole just rattling off a list of records of the entire match. You know?
Also, my favorite, to go off of what you just said about how long they lasted, they were doing that for like the top 5 people.
Yeah.
So of course, Io Sky and Liv Morgan were like at the top of that list, but
Roxanne.
Yeah, but like they would list off like in order, like this person's been there the longest, followed by this person, followed by this person, and then they added like 3 more women, and I thought that was cool because my favorite thing about the Rumble is people who last a very long time.
Yes.
Up next is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair, who is on a lot of people's radars to win this match. And what?
Like my microphone went out for a bit.
Anywho, Bianca Belair, she was on a lot of people's radars to actually win this match. And listen to my reasons of why I didn't think that. I think Bianca Belair has a little too much on her plate right now. She's one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. They're still doing this Jade Cargill who attacked her storyline, and we don't know if Jade Cargill is going to get back in time.
Yeah.
Then you have the issue with Naomi, and people are saying, oh, what about her and Rhea Ripley? But if she were to win this match, and she were to challenge Rhea Ripley, how do you get the tag titles off of her? Is Jade Cargill going to play a factor? Is Naomi going to play a factor? Is Rhea Ripley's not going to cost them the women's tag team titles because Ripley's not going to help Liv Morgan.
And so Ripley's a babyface. Ripley's a babyface too, you know?
So with all that in consideration, I don't think Bianca Belair is just involved in way too much right now. And it wasn't time. Like, she will be back in the main event picture. We will get a Belair Ripley match, you know, in the future. But right now, it's just, you don't want to overbook her. You don't want to wear her out too thin with too many storylines, and then you don't know how to get her out of current storylines, start new ones. Because, you know, if there's one thing Triple H doesn't do is sacrifice one storyline for the sake of another one, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Bianca runs in there. She does corner punches on Io, I believe. She does a backflip off the second rope. Someone else runs in. She does corner punches to them, too. Then Ivy Nile runs in, I think. She backflips off the second rope, does the same thing to Ivy Nile, and then a fourth one runs in. Bianca does the same thing, and I was like, man, she's going to do that to every woman in the ring at this rate. I don't know.
I love Bianca Belair.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. She's so awesome. Number 11 is Shayna Baszler, who Michael Cole calls a prolific Royal Rumble performer. Shayna Baszler has not been important in like 5 years.
Yeah, but her debut was pretty impressive, and it's just a damn shame they never did anything with her after that. She went from being the most dominant NXT Women's Champion of all time to just another woman on the roster, and that's a damn shame.
Except when they tried to turn her into a vampire in the build-up to COVID Mania 36. Remember when she like bit off Becky Lynch's neck?
She should have salted it first. Maybe marinated it in some, some chili powder.
Marinated in some.
A lot better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time, for sure. Like JR's barbecue sauce or something. Yes.
So up next, number 12 is Bayley, last year's winner, and she was on a lot of people's radars too, including mine. She was probably number 3 when it came to my picks. I could have easily seen Bayley winning 2 years in a row, and she just got transferred to Raw, and we've never seen Bayley and Rhea Ripley, have we?
Nope.
That's definitely a match down the line. That is a main event match down the line.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. Rhea Ripley's checking off all the 4 horsewomen one by one. Last year she got Becky Lynch. She got Charlotte the year before. Bayley could be next.
You want her to wrestle Mercedes Moné, don't you?
No, I don't. I really don't, because Rhea Ripley would wipe the fucking floor with Mercedes Moné.
What if Mercedes Moné showed up in this match?
Now Sasha Banks, if Sasha Banks showed up, then I feel like she'd have a chance. But Mercedes, no. Absolutely fucking not.
Sasha Banks retired and retired so she could be in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I hear Sasha Banks is doing really well in The Mandalorian. You know, I haven't seen her in The Mandalorian for a bit. But of course I know what The Mandalorian is.
Hopefully season 4.
Well, I mean, maybe the movie that's coming out next year.
I would love
Who knows? Yeah.
Number 13 is Sonya Deville, and this is something that it didn't bother me, but it was just like, okay, let me just explain. Sonya Deville comes out, and then commentary gets all hot and bothered because they're saying all three members of Pure Fusion Collective are in here. And I'm just like, listen, nothing against Deville, nothing against Stark, nothing against Baszler. They're all fine wrestlers in their own right. But you are delusional if you believe WWE has built this faction up to feel like a legitimate threat.
When did they get together? Like last month?
A few months ago, actually. And they've done jack shit with them. They were treating them entering this match like they were the Shield. And I'm just like, you know what? If you would have given them more attention, if you would have built them up better, if you would have, I don't know, given them some impressive wins, then sure. But they are just a random act on Raw that isn't over. And having them all enter and coming off as a threat is not legitimate whatsoever. So that's irritating me because, sure, in an alternate universe, they're the most badass women's faction in wrestling, but they're not.
No.
The fact that you were playing them off like they were was kind of laughable.
It's sad, man, because, all three of them could be doing a lot better, but they just lumped them all in a faction.
Absolutely.
Number 14. Now, I've said on this podcast in the past that number 14 tends to be a very cursed number in the Royal Rumble. Whoever enters number 14 in the next couple of years, usually something terrible happens to them. Case in point, Baron Corbin was number 14 one year. He's no longer with the company. Dominic Mysterio ended up in the clink for 2 hours the year he entered number 14, that kind of thing.
Hey, he's a war criminal.
Yeah. He's done hard times. Number 14 in the Women's Rumble is poor Maxine Dupree.
Thank you.
So Pure Fusion Collective is picking on poor Maxine Dupree, almost like her name is Katie Heron. And Maxine is just like, she's going off on all three members of Pure Fusion Collective. Then she comes face to face with Ivy Nile. And Michael Cole is talking about how these two are the best of friends. And I'm like, since when? Since when? What was that part of the story? I missed it.
I mean, they're just trying to bring in the Alpha Academy stuff. But it was very satisfying because was it just me or was Maxine Dupree very over with the crowd?
Yeah. I mean, like she looked like, her hair kind of looked like Tori Wilson. Like Tori Wilson would do her hair back in the day.
It's like she got a nice pop. She was kind of over with this crowd, and then she gives Ivy Nile a German suplex and eliminates her, and she got a nice pop.
Yeah, and then PFC tosses Maxine after that.
It's like I like Maxine Dupree. I think she needs to be protected at all costs. I wish she was a better wrestler. I mean, she does the backwards caterpillar, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but it's like I don't know. It's like they don't know what to do with this poor girl. Like they give her a chance to wrestle and she doesn't wrestle well. And then the fans shit all over her, but they still like her. And it's like, I'm very torn with Maxine Dupree.
Me too, man. Me too.
I'm glad she got the spot. I'm really glad she did because I like her. We will not accept any Maxine Dupree slander in the chat.
She has a lot of spunk. I compared her last year to a modern day Stacy Keibler. I think she's a much better manager than she is a wrestler. She certainly has a lot of charm about her. I don't know. I mean, she's certainly over with the crowd. And this will be a theme throughout this entire podcast. Wrestling ability is not the only way you can get over with a crowd. I'll just say that much for right now. Lyra Valkyria was also unceremoniously dumped over the top rope before all this happened by Ivy Nile. So that should be an IC title match at some point on Raw within the next few weeks, and Lyra should be retaining. Naomi comes out at 15, the other half of the women's tag team champions. Her and Bianca are wearing matching neon, which I'm sure Bianca was making backstage because Bianca makes her own homemade gear, which is always awesome.
So they both deliver a double kiss of death to Shayna Baszler, and it kind of made me realize something. What's the difference between the KOD and the Burning Hammer?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're right.
The Burning Hammer was banned for the longest time.
So Bianca then hits a burning hammer on Shayna Baszler. Io Sky hits an over the moonsault.
KOD.
She hits Io Sky hits an over the moonsault on Sonya Deville. All members of POC are thrown out by that trio. Io, Bianca, and Naomi all work together to eliminate Pure Fusion Collective. Yeah, so much for that threat.
It's also very important to bring up. Io Sky is the only active member of Damage Control. The other three are injured. Asuka's still out. Kairi Sane's been out for like a month, and Dakota Kai got concussed the other week.
Yeah, so we didn't see an Asuka return in this, and I was actually very shocked we did not see Jade Cargill return in this match. I was very surprised by that. But again, you only have 30 slots. You can't fit everybody in here. Number 16 is
the prime example of what I was talking about with the theme music, because I'm an avid watcher of NXT. I recognize all these people. Yes, I am.
Debatable.
Yes, I am. I watch it every Tuesday. I am very. I'm aware. I mean, I'm not aware. I know all the wrestlers are on there, but this music hits, and I sit there, and I'm like, and then I see running to the ring. I'm like, oh, it's Jada Parker, and I'm like, these fucking theme songs. Like, I would have popped for Jada Parker, but the theme song was not recognizable at all whatsoever.
It sounds like it. You know what it sounds like, Tomas? It's like a Grand Theft Auto loading screen music. That's what it sounds like. You know, because like she comes out and her text, her name is on the LED in exact Grand Theft Auto font. Like you cannot tell me that like Grand Theft Auto like hoodlum is part of her gimmick. You know,
that's literally what their gimmick is in NXT. Her and her team, the OTM. So in an NXT setting, it pops very well. But in a stadium with 70,000 people, which half of them probably don't watch NXT, it felt very flat. But regardless, I like Jada Parker. Cool to see her in this match. Number 7. Oh, this is great. So Chelsea Green is cornered by the women's tag team champions, Bella and Naomi. And Bella and Naomi are just awkwardly standing there staring at her. And I'm just like, throw her out. But they see the countdown going. And Green is like, it's like she knew, because the music hits and here comes Piper Niven. And Chelsea Green is absolutely elated. She gets out of the ring and she's telling Piper Niven to hurry the fuck up. And Niven is like casually jogging to the ring. I'm like, would you let this poor girl get to the ring first? And then they awkwardly get back in the ring. And Piper Niven and Chelsea Green are always the highlight of the Women's Royal Rumble, because Niven is squaring up with the tag team champions and Green is behind her, jumping up and down like, I'm all good now. I got Piper Niven.
And then what happens is Piper Niven, which, by the way, you want to talk about absolute units. Piper Niven is another one. She charges at one of Bianca or Naomi. Chelsea's still on the apron right behind them. Bianca moves out of the way, and Piper clobbers Chelsea Green by accident. Chelsea falls to the floor, and she is beside herself. Like, she cannot believe that her best friend would betray her like that, even though it was an accident. Chelsea Green was so livid. Livid. You know, like...
As she should be. That's her Secret Service.
Yeah. I fucking love that that's Piper's title. She is Chelsea's Secret Service Administration. Like,
before we continue,
love that.
I have to ask you something.
Yo.
Do you remember when Piper Niven dropped Chelsea Green? Do you remember when Piper Niven dropped Naomi?
I do.
Remember a couple years ago when Piper Niven returned and she dropped half of the women in that match?
I do.
You do. Ooh. I rewatched the 2023 Royal Rumble a couple weeks ago, and that was probably my favorite spot in the whole match.
I hate it. I freaking hate it. But the fans are booing like crazy because they really love Chelsea, but she's gone. Here comes Natalya, number 18. And I told Lindsay about Natalya a little bit. I was giving her background on all these women. And I told her that Natalya loves cats. And Lindsay was sitting there like, I like Natalya. I like cats.
She has a cat named Two Paws.
Natty's always great. Alongside
what was the cat ears? Where were the cat ears?
Natalya, alongside Liv Morgan, are the only two women to appear in every single women's Royal Rumble. How many Rumbles have either one of them won? How many Rumbles? 0.
How many Rumbles has Kane been in?
And he's won 0. He's won 0.
How many Rumbles has Kofi Kingston been in?
So, a lot. He wasn't in this year's Rumble.
How many Rumbles has The Miz been in?
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave Natalia alone.
Yeah, Natalia should win a Royal Rumble. I don't think she's going to, but she should if she's entering that many times. I know you love this next entrant, Tomas, number 19, so I'm going to let you have the floor on this.
Number 19 is Jordynne Grace. We all saw this coming. What a lot of people don't know is this is Jordynne Grace's WWE debut officially. She is now part of the company. She looks fantastic. Let me give you a little background on Jordynne Grace. I remember watching her when she was in the Indies, and the body transformation I've seen this woman go through since 2016 is astronomical. Like,
Yeah.
she is big buff mama for a reason.
Yes.
Like, her transformation in TNA has been the craziest thing. I'm so happy she's in WWE now. This woman is a star. She looks fantastic. She's already over with the crowd, and the possibilities are endless for Jordynne Grace. So welcome to WWE, Jordynne Grace. We know she's made a few appearances with NXT the past year, but now that she's here, we're going to see her debut on the main roster. They can start fitting her into storylines, titles. This woman is going to have a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how far Jordynne Grace actually goes up the ladder in this company. So let's compare her real quick to someone like Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile comes out and she's got muscles, and I told Lindsay, like, yeah, Ivy Nile is a very muscular, strong individual. She gave a German suplex to a few people, like 2 women at one point. And then Jordynne Grace comes out, and I'm like, her muscles have muscles. Like, she is insanely strong.
As Jerry Lawler used to say, Jordynne Grace has muscles where most people don't even have places.
Yep, ain't that the truth. She tosses Jada Parker completely out of the ring over the top rope, both feet hit the floor, and then she picks up Piper Niven with the greatest of ease, hits her with a Death Valley driver, and the crowd and the commentators absolutely mark the fuck out. And Pat McAfee audibly yells out, "Holy shit." Like, audibly. Like, they did not censor him. So, Jordynne Grace is going to be an absolute stud, and I can't wait to see where she goes in this company. She hugs Naomi, and Bianca is offended by this, that Naomi has other friends. Like, why can't your tag team partner have other friends? Like,
how weird is it? Still to this day, a year later, hearing like Michael Cole say TNA, former TNA Knockouts Women's Champion. Oh, Jordynne Grace and Naomi had a feud in TNA. It's going to get a lot weirder in the men's, but WWE and TNA, this working agreement is probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Like, we're going to see a lot more crossover. And if you would have told a 15-year-old me that TNA and WWE were working together in the next 15 years, I would say you're crazy.
Yeah, it's, 2025 has already been a wild and crazy year in the world of sports entertainment. The WWE TNA partnership, officially, they've been, casually dating for about a good year or two, and now they've made their relationship status official. They're more exclusive with each other than ever before. The forbidden door is going to be wide open. It's a good time to be a fan. It really is.
Remember that scene in Lord of the Rings with Gimli? Do you ever see yourself fighting side by side with an elf? No. What about fighting side by side with a friend? I can do that. That's what WWE and TNA working together feels like.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
Sworn enemies, and now they're friends.
Yep.
Sign Scott D'Amore, WWE.
Yeah, please. I mean, Jeremy Borash has been there for God knows how long now. Number 20 is Michin. She runs in there. Not really a whole lot going on. Oh, man. I am very excited to get into this. So the countdown clock's going on. There's a lot of women in the ring right now. And I'm like, man, we haven't had huge surprises in this match yet. Because Jordynne Grace, I mean, they build it as a surprise, but it's like the worst kept secret in wrestling right now. 21 comes out, and it's fucking Alexa Bliss. And we have not seen or talked about Alexa Bliss in 2 years. Last time was when she wrestled Bianca Belair for the title at the Royal Rumble. Since then, Alexa Bliss has had a health scare. She beat skin cancer. She had a son, or not a son, a daughter, like a baby. Technically, yeah, I don't remember the gender.
And worst of all, she lost her pet pig.
Yeah. So
that made me cry. So Alexa Bliss has been through a lot.
And she lost her friend Bray Wyatt since she's been away, too. So she comes out there, and this crowd gives her a Stone Cold Steve Austin Attitude Era level pop. Like, it was so fucking loud in that stadium for Alexa.
It was deafening. It was so deafening that I had to go back and rewatch it to hear that her theme song is a remix of her old theme song.
Fuck you, Def Rebel.
Loved so much that they went back to her old theme song. And things that I noticed going back and rewatching it. Number one, she's like a hybrid now of the Firefly Funhouse and her regular Alexa Bliss.
The goddess.
Damn doll with her, which I get it. It sells. But that damn fucking doll, Charlotte Flair murdered it, and it's still counted to me.
Yeah. So
I have a lot of strong feelings about Lily, but whatever. But most importantly, on the back of Alexa Bliss's jacket, it said "Fiend Forever."
We miss you, Bray. We miss you, Wyndham. So Alexa walks out there, and Lindsay's sitting right here, right? And she compared Liv Morgan to Harley Quinn earlier, and then Alexa Bliss comes out, and she's starstruck, and she's like, that's Harley Quinn. And I'm like, she's been compared to Harley Quinn for, like, at least a decade now, darling. At least a decade.
Remember when Mauro Ranallo said Alexa Bliss is the Harley Quinn of WWE, but she doesn't need a squad?
I fucking do. And the commentators were hilarious while Alexa was coming out, too. They let the reaction play out for a bit, and then Michael Cole yells out, just out of nowhere, I thought she was never coming back! The internet said she wasn't coming back! And then Wade Barrett, like, just casually, doesn't really think about it, he says, stop reading the dirt sheets, Michael!
And the reason for that is that literally 2 weeks ago, it was reported that Alexa Bliss was supposed to return on the Netflix debut of Raw, but her and her team were trying to get a better contract out of WWE. So they really threw us for a curveball.
Which they clearly did.
They literally, the report said that there are no creative plans for Alexa Bliss to return, and they fooled everyone. I think this was Triple H and WWE's way of saying, stop listening to Meltzer.
Meanwhile, there's a sign up against the hard cam that says Meltzer fears facts.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
You know, it's... Anyway, so happy to see Alexa back, and she is stepping into a women's division that has changed so much since we last saw her. So every single match that we see Alexa in from now on is going to feel so fresh. Even against people she's feuded with before, like Bayley. Remember that atrocious feud in 2017? I feel like it's
that was great.
No, it's going to be so much better now.
Kendo stick on a pole match.
Yeah.
Weren't you there for that?
Kendo stick on a pole? No, that was at Extreme Rules. I went to Payback when Alexa first won the title from Bayley.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I was not there for that piece of garbage. But
you were also there when Bayley was defending the SmackDown Women's Championship on Raw.
I sure was, yeah. Wild card, baby!
Anywho, we're in a better
going
time now. Number 22 is Zelina Vega, and she comes out with the craziest ring gear like she always does. It is important. This may sound like something very throwaway, but I don't think it is. They announced on Raw that Zelina Vega is no longer part of the LWO because she's going to SmackDown. I wonder why.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't see the reason tonight, like a lot of people were predicting, because, you know, Malachi Black is still... Yeah, sorry.
Man, I was going to say, didn't the house look very black tonight?
Yeah, the Indianapolis looked like a very black house tonight. You know, it's... I'm not going to make the joke, but anyway, out comes Candice LeRae at number 23. Candice LeRae, you want to talk about fucking underrated. She is awesome, and she's out here drawing a very late number this time.
The Poison Pixie.
Yes. Here's another NXT entrant. Another NXT entrant, Tomas at 24, Stephanie Vaquer.
Ooh.
Oh!
This. Wasn't it like a year ago? She was wrestling Mercedes Moné at
Forbidden Door. At Forbidden Door.
And here we are, a year later, and she's in the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm calling my shot now. Stephanie Baker is going to be a fucking star when she gets called up to the main roster.
Damn right she is.
Her look is amazing. She's a fantastic wrestler. She's probably my favorite on NXT right now. This is probably the best signing Shawn Michaels got since he's been booking NXT.
Yeah,
because after Baker had that excellent showing against Mercedes Moné, Shawn Michaels didn't fucking hesitate to scoop her up. And again, that's signing.
Shawn Michaels is probably the most respectful of women's wrestling booking right now, if we're being completely honest. And he recognizes what he has in Stephanie Baker. And I can only hope that in Stephanie Baker's WWE career, Hunter can recognize that too. And I'm sure he does already, but because she looks very good in this match as well. And the surprises just keep on coming. At 25 is Trish Stratus. She walks out, and I was like, she was not a surprise that was on my radar, but I see the graphic behind her, and it's a big old 25, Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus made her WWE debut 25 years ago. That is fucking insane. Like,
that is insane. You know what I have to say about that?
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish. She walks out wearing a hybrid look of what she used to wear back in the year 2000 when she was managing Test and Albert. And Michael Cole even said the tag team name, T&A. Like, I
like how Michael Cole had to stress that pronunciation because they also work with TNA Wrestling.
Yeah.
So, man, if she doesn't know what TNA is, and she's too young for you, bro.
No. Trish is mixing it up with people like Natalya, giving her a Stratusfaction.
Stratus looks damn good still. 25 years later, she looks damn good.
She can still go, man. I mean, if her feud with Becky Lynch a couple years ago wasn't enough proof for you, Trish is a cardio queen. She also...
Remember when she told that fan to shut the fuck up at Payback?
I did. I do remember that. Thank you, Trish. She also is mixing it up with Jordynne Grace. Man, that's a match I'd fucking love to see one-on-one. We have 5 women left. Out comes Raquel Rodriguez at 26. Liv Morgan and Io Sky, by the way, are still in the match at this point, as is Roxanne, the first 3 entrants. And Liv finally gets some backup with the Judgment Days. Yeah, go ahead.
Funny when Michael Cole was like, Liv Morgan has been in there since number 2, and she finally has backup.
Yeah.
God damn, Raquel Rodriguez, you really waited to the last second to come out in this match.
Yeah, the Judgment Day starts cleaning house, though. They toss Natalya out, and unfortunately, Liv Morgan hits a code breaker on Alexa Bliss on the apron and eliminates her. Boo. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Also, their strategy starts... tying it up with Nia Jax. Nia Jax dwarfs this poor woman.
Who, Alexa?
No, Trish Stratus.
Oh.
Trish Stratus was tiny. But next to Nia Jax, oh my God. Dwarf this poor girl.
Nia Jax is an absolute unit, isn't she? Yeah, but...
We're in the era of Haas women, and it's awesome.
Well, speaking of very phically imposing women... I know you've been waiting.
Julia,
no. Hold on.
Holy shit.
You skipped.
Oh, man. I just wanted to talk about Julia because number 27 is the return of Charlotte Flair. And, man, how long have you known me? Like 10 years at this point?
Yep.
You can confirm with the audience that I have the biggest love-hate relationship with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is my favorite women's wrestler, but she just, on a regular basis, continues to aggravate me to no end.
Yeah.
Because she comes out, and do I pop? No. Do I scream? No. Me and everyone I was watching the Rumble with kind of sit there, and we all collectively take a deep breath and go, here we go.
Well, I mean, I could tell that Charlotte was winning this match because she walks out there and she is the only one of these 30 women to get pyro with her entrance.
And we know that doesn't mean she's winning. It's just she's back, and we all know what Charlotte's capable of, and it's just
I mean, they also announced a return in advance, too. So, I mean, that can't have helped matters much.
So I'm going to save all my thoughts about Charlotte Flair when the match is over, but it's just she comes out and the anxiety started, and we
I
all
mean,
collectively
it's.
took a deep breath and we're like,
I thought it was good to see her, though. I mean, it's been over a year.
I'm happy she's back. Like, you want to talk about aura? Charlotte Flair invented the word aura. She is a living legend.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Charlotte Flair. I love her as a wrestler. I love her presentation. I love her look. I own her merchandise. Was probably the women's wrestler that got me finally interested in women's wrestling. But at the same time, we've seen how her booking has been the past 10 years, and you can't help but groan at it.
Exactly.
And Charlotte Flair is easily the most polarizing female wrestler of all time, outside of like Tessa Blanchard, but I think that's a different heat for a different reason. And I just seen so many different opinions about her. And again, I'm going to save them for the end. But Charlotte Flair comes in there, and this is when this match is being picked in the third year.
And she took her sweet ass time walking down the aisle too. It might have been the whole 2-minute interval she walked out to the ring. She eliminates Michin. She counters a big vertical suplex attempt from Jordynne Grace and Stephanie Vaquer, hits them with a double DDT. She eliminates Piper Niven all by herself, by the way. So that, I mean, if that doesn't scream, hey, she's someone we want to push in this match. I mean, you take a giant and you toss them out on your own. Like, it's...
One more thing about Charlotte Flair. Ease it up on the Botox. It is very noticeable now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but now we have Julia at 28. Now we have Julia.
NXT Women's Champion Julia. And you want to talk about the biggest Japanese signing women's-wise since Asuka? Julia's fucking awesome. Like, her whole presentation is very similar to Asuka's. And I love her. She's great. She's another one. She's going to be a huge name in WWE when she gets called up. She's already the reigning NXT Women's Champion. And when she came out, I was like, wow, what a field. What a field of women's wrestlers we have right now.
Yeah, and she comes face-to-face with Io Sky as well, who at this point has been in the ring for an hour, as has Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez is creeping up on that as well. Really impressive showing from all three of the first entrants. But the ring is like, you have half of the field, and number 29 is Nia Jax. And now it's time for a lot of these people to get eliminated. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just fearing for my life. I'm like, please, anybody but Nia Jax. Like, anybody else can win this match. I do not want to see Nia Jax win.
I was the same way because number 29 hit and I heard Nia Jax's music and I just put my hands on my face and I screamed, I fucking forgot about Nia Jax. Well, and if you thought my anxiety was bad when Charlotte Flair came out, it pinched up to 11 when Nia Jax came out.
Well, at least Hunter learned his lesson from Survivor Series and didn't have Nia Jax start this match.
She should have started the match.
No, she shouldn't have.
She should have been like 17.
No, she should have came out at number 1 and gotten eliminated immediately. You know, that would have been much better. That would have been a lot more ideal because at least the women...
That's not how you book a former women's champion.
At least...
for your personal feelings about her.
At least...
very well.
At least the women don't have to fear for their health when they're in the ring in the Rumble match if Nia Jax has gone early. Because she eliminates Zelina Vega, pulls her off the apron.
Every time you say that, has Nia Jax hurt anybody since her return?
She threw Zelina into the barricade as hard as she could, as clumsily as she could, and it's a miracle that Zelina...
Did she really, or are you just saying that because you don't like her?
Oh, I mean, bro.
Now,
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal.
Okay, that's totally fine, but you can't accuse her of being unsafe when she's not being unsafe. That's not fair. That's really not fair.
I don't know, man. It's
okay. You don't have to like Nia Jax. You don't. You really do not have to like Nia Jax. It's okay. Like, I'm not even that big of a fan of her, but if she's wrestling good matches, I'm not going to sit there and say she's a shitty wrestler when she's not. And she's still really good at generating heat because I didn't want her to win either. She's really good at generating heat. I did not want her to win this match.
If nothing else, the one great thing that Nia Jax is good at over anything else, she knows the crowd fucking hates her guts.
Oh, yeah.
And she's
using that to her advantage.
Phenomenal bad guy. I will tell you that much. Phenomenal. So,
Oh, you want to talk about getting heat though?
Whoa, whoa,
This
whoa,
was
whoa, 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 whoa,
probably.
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on.
Wait, did this happen after?
No,
Or
Trish Stratus. It happened before. Trish Stratus squares up to Nia Jax. Candice LeRae intervenes. Trish eliminates Candice. And then Nia Jax hits her with a really shitty looking forearm, and Trish falls off the apron, and it ruins my night. I'm sitting there, I'm like, how can you have Trish Stratus eliminated by this woman? Like,
it's called getting heat. It's called getting heat.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But
Good. It's a good thing you didn't like it. That
yeah,
means Nia Jax is working.
yeah. But
I mean, back in the '80s when Roddy Piper low blowed Hulk Hogan, fans were upset there. Good. Piper's a bad guy.
when
If
Andre
the heels are making you upset, then guess what? They did their job.
when Andre the Giant tore Hulk's shirt off in the Piper's Pit and challenged him at WrestleMania 3, I'm sure people fucking hated Andre too. And then Hogan's sitting there like the Piper's asking if the match is happening, and Hogan's like, "Yes."
So you want to talk about heat, and you want to talk about how good Nia Jax is getting heat. So there's this whole fucking cluster going on.
That happened after. That happened after number 30.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I have to get upset. I have to get upset again. Great. Number 30. It could have been Becky Lynch. Number 30. I knew it wasn't going to happen. It could have been AJ Lee.
That would have been
30,
fucking awesome.
my friend who was watching with me told me there were rumors of Gail Kim. It could have been her. No. Number 30. Nikki Bella.
You can look, but you can't touch.
I don't even want to look.
Listen, hold on. Before you, okay, no, you know what? I'll let you go first because I know you did not like this at all.
No. First of all, I was going to say this is not a Royal Rumble cameo. This is not like her appearance a few years ago. This isn't like the countless other cameos like Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Kelly. No, Nikki Bella is back full time with the WWE, and all I have to say about that is,
So here's my thing, right? Nikki Bella, since we last saw her full time, since we last saw her and her twin sister get inducted into the Hall of Fame, lots happened in Nikki's life, man. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She got married to her dance partner. She had a son, which is something that John Cena never wanted to give her. So then what happened is over the past year, Nikki and Artem fucking divorce because it turns out Artem is a piece of shit. An abusive piece of shit. So Nikki has been through so much. Like, I mean, she still kept busy. Like, she was just eliminated off of the Traitors, which is a really fun show. Go Boston Rob, by the way. But Nikki is sitting, like,
was that
you know.
your new Survivor?
Well, I mean, they bring Survivor in. They bring survivors in all the time. You got fucking Boston Rob, you got Jeremy Collins, you got Tony Vlachos on there, and Nikki's mixing it up with all of them. And
So
I'm like,
this is like the most ambitious crossover of all time for you?
it might be. I don't know. I mean, Boston Rob just voted Nikki out of the Traitors mansion, but
I mean, John Morrison might as well show up at this point.
it might as well. Another brochacho blindside. But Nikki, so I did not mind this return, even when like rumors were circulating about that, just because I knew Nikki as a person needed to be back somewhere where not only she feels safe, and number two, she can show her son what a true badass looks like. Because her son ain't gonna get that from looking at Artem, that's for sure.
100% agree with on the personal side for Nikki. I'm happy for her, but as a professional wrestler, I've just never cared for her, and I don't really have any interest. It's not like Jordan Grace. It's not like Stephanie McCur. It's not even like Julia. There is not a single person on the roster that I see going up against Nikki and me going, hell yeah. But you know what? I'm open to Nikki proving me wrong. Because you know what? Nia Jax proved me wrong. You know what? A lot of other women proved me wrong. So if Nikki can do that, good. But right now, as we speak, as we're recording this on February 3rd, I just saw that and thought, and I am riddled with indifference. But
It's not a Becky Lynch return.
No, it's just for me with the Bella Twins. The Bella Twins have always left this nasty taste in my mouth because they're very, mainstream popular. They're kind of pop icons at this point. And the type of people they attracted into the pro wrestling fandom are the type of people I don't want in my pro wrestling fandom. There was a
Yeah,
point of time, everybody coming up to me going, "Oh, you know the Bella Twins, the Bella Twins, the Bella Twins, the Bella Twins." I'm like, you guys don't even know what the Bella Twins do. And let me tell you what they do. They are mediocre pro wrestlers. And their promos were awful. Their feud was awful. I don't fucking care about Total Divas. I didn't care about any of that shit.
total
So,
Bellas.
so now, I mean, respect for them as people, like what Nikki's gone through. And, we know Brie is married to Bryan Danielson. And, I mean, respect for them as people. But as pro wrestlers, I always thought they were overrated, just pop icons. And it's not really something I'm interested in when it comes to WWE. Hell, they're going to do something in the men's match that, made me roll my eyes, but at least that person got fucking speared into another universe.
But once again, Nikki Bella may not be the flashiest pro wrestler on the planet at all, but you can't deny how over she is and how popular she is with those people, because they gave her a really nice reaction coming out.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole dubbed her the most courageous woman walking the face of the planet while she was walking to the ring. Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue much against that. But yeah, you got 12 women in the ring, and there's like 6 women at once, like hanging off the ropes. And they go as follows: Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Stephanie McCurr, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan. Both number 1 and number 2 were hanging there. And what happened, Tomas?
In one fell swoop, Nia Jax ran into the ropes and eliminated all of them.
Bullshit!
You want to
Bullshit!
talk about getting heat? You want to talk about getting heat? That's how you get heat.
No,
I collapsed to my knees in agony because Io Sky was in that bunch. First of all, she was my pick to win, and wow, it was like I can't say you saw that coming.
So once that happened, here's why I didn't like this. It's not because it was Nia Jax that did it. I thought it was pretty impressive. I've never really seen anybody eliminate 6 people at once in a Royal Rumble. The reason why I didn't like this is because it made this Rumble match and this ending so much more predictable.
Fair. I'm not going to 100% disagree with you, but I am going to say, considering who did win, I feel like this was Triple H's way of just ripping off the Band-Aid. I mean, I guess I rather would have seen this. And, okay, let's stop beating around the bush. I would rather have seen this than, say, Charlotte Flair and Io Sky being the last 2 and they wrestle for 10 minutes and we all get disappointed in the end. I mean, wasn't as offensive as, say, Bray Wyatt eliminating Bryan Danielson when he was only in there for 5 minutes. But yeah. I do kind of believe in the, hey, it's not going to happen, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off now. And at least it was done in such an epic way that I was like, again, you can't say you saw that coming.
I can't say I saw it coming either. Yeah, and you're left.
Ripped my heart out of my chest. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're left with Julia in the ring and Roxanne Perez, who's been in there for over an hour at this point. Roxanne shoves Julia into the ring post off the apron. Julia falls to the floor. We'll be seeing that match at Vengeance Day. Bailey is then... Yeah.
It's a threat.
Speaking of, Bailey is eliminated as well by Nia Jax. No, it was like an accidental forearm from Nikki Bella, I think. And then
let me check. Yeah, Nikki did eliminate Bailey.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he loves that. And then Nia tosses Nikki Bella out of the ring. So you're left with Charlotte, Roxanne.
Nikki was only in there for 3 minutes, by the way.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, you got to ease her back in. She's just dipping her toes into the pool before she goes into the deep end.
You know who she should wrestle first?
Who?
Natalya.
Yeah. I mean, that story writes itself. Those two have a storied history.
Just as a TV match, it would easily be, we talk about The Miz being, and we're going to, great, because we're going to be talking about The Miz in the men's match. We say The Miz is the perfect first opponent for anybody coming into the WWE. Like, you look at his match with AJ Styles, you look at all these other people he's worked with. Natalya is the equivalent. Like, Natalya should be the gatekeeper. Natalya should be I've known you for 20 years. I know you're just getting back in. Like, if there's anybody who's going to take care of her and at least get her to a decent match, it's Natalya.
That's the word I was looking for, was gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So you're left with the final three of Charlotte, Nia, and Roxanne, who's been in the ring for over an hour.
Which,
Roxanne,
oh boy, if anyone predicted that as your final three,
no.
you should go buy a lotto ticket.
Yeah. No, you
yeah.
should. You should. I appreciate that Hunter is keeping us guessing in regards to how he books this thing. Roxanne.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, this was a nice surprise. I think I would have been more upset if the final three was like Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair. Because you know the fans would have been cheering their asses off for like Sky and or Belair or Julia, or if like Jade Cargill was in there, or I don't know if Bailey made it to the end. At least they're not blue balling us too badly. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. But before we get into who won this match, let me put over Roxanne Perez for a second. She just broke the record for the longest lasting Iron Woman performance in Women's Rumble history at 67 minutes and 67 minutes and change. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Roxanne Perez is not main roster ready after that performance, like, I don't know, man.
Thought that was a typo when they showed it on the screen. When they said Roxanne Perez was in there for 66 minutes, I'm like, there's no way. And then I looked at the Wikipedia page and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's right. She was number 3.
She's a prodigy. She's a prodigy, man.
Very impressive. And if you don't like Roxanne Perez, all I got to say is keep feeding her the hate.
Yeah, keep giving her the hate and keep feeding her wrists like that so she can keep holding it up like that.
Also, who would hate Roxanne Perez? There's literally nothing to hate about her.
No way. She was brought up by Booker T. Like, great tutelage, yes. And if anybody's upset that AJ Lee was not in the Rumble match, first of all, if AJ wants to come back to WWE, that's her fucking decision. And CM Punk has said many times that he's not going to try and force his wife back into the world of wrestling. If AJ wants to come back, the door is open.
Oh, yeah.
Roxanne Perez is like AJ Lee Jr. Like, I don't know what's there to complain about.
I mean, her and Cora Jade are best friends with CM Punk, and they are sitting under his learning tree. That's the kind of learning tree I want to be a part of, is CM Punk's.
Right,
and they are just soaking in all of his knowledge, which is what CM Punk wanted. That's all he wanted. Could you imagine if
CM Punk on Raw tonight started cutting a promo and was like, "Hi, guys! Hi, guys!"
The closest thing I could see CM Punk doing is making a sort of subtle, slight reference to a tree.
Yeah, to a tree. Fuck that tree. Charlotte then eliminates Nia Jax all by herself, and she becomes the biggest babyface in Indianapolis once she does that. It's down to Flair and Perez, and we don't even get really a mini match like we're used to. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Roxanne tries to head scissors on Charlotte, and then Charlotte just like boop, tosses her out, and Charlotte wins.
Much as I would love to have seen a little mini match between Flair and Perez, I think it was done for the same reason I said before. They weren't going to beat around the bush. They were going to rip off that Band-Aid. As we were about to say, Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble, and I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I mean, we've known for the past like 6 months, before Tiffany Stratton was even women's champion, the match was going to be Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I get that. It's a big money match. It's a match I want to see. It's a torch passing moment, hopefully. But on the other hand, it's like, we've seen this song and dance so many times, and I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, I get it. Charlotte Flair is the biggest women's star WWE's had in like 20 years. I get it. And I'm not saying WWE hasn't pushed new stars in the past. I mean, you have your Rhea Ripleys, you have your Bianca Belairs, you have your Liv Morgans, you have your Tiffany Strattons, you have your Baileys, you have your Naomis. Hell, you even have your Nia Jaxes. But I just feel like this is just their go-to. This is their scapegoat. This is their safe bet. Go with Charlotte Flair. I mean, you could have gotten to Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton in a different way. And I'm not saying this is lazy. It was just, it would have been cool to see something different.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But I mean, Of all the matches that we're picking for WrestleMania, the biggest lock on the board is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. It wasn't a matter of if the match was going to happen; it was a matter of how the match was going to be put together. Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble is the safest, easiest way to book that match. Instead of having to put together like a super intricate, like long-term story between the two.
It was either this or she won Elimination Chamber. Either way, it was going to make people upset. So,
if anything, I am so stoked for Tiffany Stratton right now because Tiffany Stratton, when she signed up to become a pro wrestler under the tutelage of Tully Blanchard, she did it after watching a Charlotte Flair match. So this is Tiffany's dream match right here. And I am all for, whether it be wrestlers, whether it be actors, whether it be directors, artists, anywhere alike, if you are getting your dream project, that's fucking music to my ears. So I'm so stoked that Tiffany Stratton is getting this. I hope she beats Charlotte at Mania, if I'm being completely honest. Like,
I know the Rumble just happened, and we have a good 2.5 months until this match happens. And I know even now we're jumping the gun because Charlotte Flair hasn't even picked who she's going to face. And to be fair, we all know. We all know, though. But to kill some TV time, you know she's going to be on Raw tomorrow night and get in Rhea Ripley's face. You know she's going to be on SmackDown and get in Tiffany Stratton's face. Even though I hate when they do this, you know she's going to show up on NXT and get in Julia's face. They have to kill a little bit of time, even though we all know. It's kind of like when Edge did it, you know. He showed up on Raw and he got in Drew McIntyre's face. He showed up on SmackDown and got in Roman Reigns' face. He showed up on NXT and got in Karrion Kross's face, which we were all like, there's no way in fucking hell it's going to be Edge and Karrion Kross.
Finn Balor.
It was Balor?
It was Balor. I
sworn it was Kross.
Nope. Kross beat Balor like over WrestleMania weekend for the belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Even then, you were like, Edge isn't going for the NXT title. So, you know they're going to kill some TV time. Same with the men's. You know, Gunther's going to get confronted. Cody's going to get confronted. Like, they have to kill some TV time. So, like I said, there's 2.5 months until we get to this match. With that being said, that was totally beside the point I was going to make. Even though we have so much time and the Rumble just happened, I would like this to be Charlotte Flair passing the torch to Tiffany Stratton because
it should be.
I think Tiffany Stratton has way more to gain by retaining the title than Charlotte Flair does by winning another women's championship. And I know she's Rick's daughter. We know eventually she's going to get 17 world titles. But do you have to do that right now?
No.
Do you have to do that right this very minute?
No, you don't have to.
Different. It's different when it comes to like John Cena because he is literally retiring this year. But Charlotte Flair, she may have 10 more years in the tank. There's no reason to break that record right this very moment. So if we're talking right now when literally the episode of Raw for this Rumble has not even aired, then no, I think Tiffany Stratton needs to go over in this match.
Totally. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it angered me. I expected it. You know, I mean, Charlotte's great. I mean, I appreciate her work, but it's all a matter of like, I think the reason why people hate Charlotte so much is because it's repetition. Like, they're way too used to seeing Charlotte in this position, which, I mean, her last name is Flair. Of course she's going to be in this fucking position.
And I know I just went on like a 5-minute rant about this whole thing, but on the other side of the things, if I'm defending it, well, then you know what? If you hate this, then you would have had a goddamn seizure and been put into a coma if you were a fan back in the 80s and Hulk Hogan was champion for like 5 years. You would have had a damn heart attack when Bruno Sammartino was WWE champion for 7 years.
You would have had a heart attack when Roman Reigns was the champion for almost 4 years. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, that just happened, didn't it? But this was, I mean, as far as Rumble matches go, like, this is thumbs up from me. I really enjoyed
this was so much fun.
Lots of
surprises.
A lot of surprises.
Good storytelling. Like, you know, I thought, you know, the NXT representation was amazing in this match between Perez and Parker, and especially Julia and Vaquera. With that being said, now that Charlotte Flair has won this match, I still am holding on to hope that the plan is Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. And to get to that, 100% Io Sky is my pick to win the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, well, she's got to qualify first. So
Are they
we'll
having
see.
qualifying matches tonight?
I think they should be. I mean, I was reading up that chamber qualifying matches were happening at some point. But yeah,
But I'm just saying, looking at that, like, there's still a way to get to that match. I'm not 100% convinced that's going to be the match they go with, but it's the match I want to see, and it's the match I hope.
Lots
that's
of
a great thing about WWE right now. We can actually hope for stuff and not look like complete morons. Because if I would have wished for, Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair in 2021, everyone would have pointed at me and said, Vince isn't going to fucking do that. But in Triple H's WWE, it's 100% a possibility now.
So, yeah, this Rumble match, lots of impressive performances in different ways. As much as I despise Nia Jax, the fact that she eliminated 9 people is the most in a single Rumble match for the women. That should not go unnoticed. Lots of great surprises thrown into the mix, and some surprises we didn't even get. Again, I'm shocked that I did not see Jade Cargill in this lineup. Becky Lynch was, I was kind of hoping Becky Lynch would show up since she's my favorite, but it's not the end of the world if Becky Lynch wants to continue to be a mom. So be it. I know Becky's busy.
You wanted to see time.
Big time! Yeah, of course man. I did.
It's okay, man. I miss big time Bex, too.
Me too. I miss her and her satellite that she wore on her head every time she walked out of the ring.
Yes.
But yeah, Roxanne Perez, MVP of this match for me, in addition to Liv and Io lasting over an hour.
You want to talk about shockers? We didn't get Cora Jade in this match.
Yeah, no, we didn't, did we? Yeah, she's a little busy with TNA right now, though. So
yeah, I think it's cool as fuck.
Yeah. Next year, absolutely put Cora Jade in the Rumble, but.
Ooh, man, we've been recording for almost an hour, and that was the first match.
That was. Well, it's a fucking Royal Rumble. What do you expect? Yeah. So
after we get a brief cool down period, up next is a match I never would have thought I'd see on pay-per-view, let alone for
the tag team titles. Yes, for the first time since Mania 40. I'm so excited.
The first time since. Yeah. Yeah, continue. My bad. I almost stole your thunder.
It's okay. 2 out of 3 falls. DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And Tomas will tell you, when this match was announced, I was the giddiest little boy. Because I love both of these teams. I've been pulling so hard to see DIY on pay-per-view again. And I've been waiting for the Guns to show up on a WWE pay-per-view. And they finally do. In front of 60,000 strong. Man.
The tag team titles are never defended on pay-per-view. We have a lot to get into.
How the fuck did we get here?
Let's go back to October, I want to say. Maybe a little bit after that. The Motor City Machine Guns, one of the most decorated tag teams in TNA history, make their debut in WWE almost out of nowhere. And immediately, they are put into a number 1 contenders match for the WWE tag team titles. They win that match. They move on the next week, and in their 3rd match, they beat the Bloodline to win the WWE Tag Team titles.
With the help of Roman Reigns.
Yeah. This is Triple H's WWE, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fast forward a little more into the end of the year. The Guns have a friendly tag team match with DIY. Tommaso Ciampa is starting to get frustrated with Johnny Gargano. He wants Gargano to get some of that edge back. He wants him to be a little more aggressive because DIY has not succeeded at all since they reformed. And, Gargano's the happy-go-lucky, friendly dude. And Ciampa is increasingly getting more aggressive as the months go on. It sounds like Ciampa is giving Gargano an ultimatum, basically saying, like, you're either with me or you're against me. Give me your answer next week. The following week on SmackDown, the Street Profits are supposed to get a tag team title shot against the Guns. They are mysteriously attacked backstage. Johnny Gargano runs up to Nick Aldis and says, wait a minute, if you want a title match, please give it to me and Ciampa. Aldis agrees, and it looks like that Gargano and Ciampa are coming to blows. Gargano shoves Ciampa down and says he's not going to go through with this, but while the referee's back is turned, he low blows Chris Sabin. And it was a ruse the entire time. We have heel Gargano back. They hit their finisher onto Sabin to win the match and to win the tag team titles. Yep. So that's where we're at here. We're at a 2 out of 3 falls match. Woo! The tag team titles need to get defended on pay-per-view more because
please
that was a build.
More of this
build that we had to go through.
More of this, please. These are two of my favorite teams in WWE. I'm so glad they got this spotlight. And Johnny Gargano, oh man, you know how much I love this bloke.
Let me guess. He should face Cody Rhodes for the WWE title.
He should. It'd be a fucking banger. But he is, like, as much as I love Gargano as a babyface, because he's one hell of a babyface and a lovable babyface, he's such a funny heel, too. Like, some of the stuff that he says and, like, does, like, even when he's walking to the ring and his swagger, while Ciampa is just clutching, like, the new Goldie to his chest. Like, it's a fun little contrast with DIY. The Guns are obviously one of the greatest tag teams of the modern era in any company. So it's so cool to see Sabin and Shelley, like, get their shine at WWE after all this time.
Every time I see their Titantron and it says Motor City Machine Guns established 2008, it makes me go, wow. Yeah. Name another tag team that stayed together this long.
Well, and with a banger theme song like they do.
17 years. I remember when the Guns formed.
Me too.
I feel old.
Me too, man. I
remember in TNA, Mick Foley telling these guys, you know what? By yourselves, you guys are kind of mediocre. But together, you could be something special. And the rest was history. And I also remember Foley coming out a couple of weeks later and saying, you guys are great, but your theme song sucks.
Raise your fist! Boom, boom. Raise your fist! Boom, boom.
Yeah, their TNA theme is still better.
Ah, shut up, man. This theme song is cool.
Their TNA theme is goated.
Debatable. But anyway, I'm just doing that to bug the shit out of him. So,
this was a good match.
It was good. Really
very
good.
Fun tag team wrestling, but it suffered from two things. Number one, the tag team titles are never defended on pay-per-view, so the crowd was a little dead for this in the beginning. And second of all, we just came off of a very good Women's Royal Rumble match, and unfortunately, this has nothing to do with either team. This was the cool-down match.
The crowd was tired. I mean, as you would be after a fucking Royal Rumble match. Like, any match they would put in this spot was going to get a dead reaction. Remember
sure as hell weren't going to put the ladder match here.
Remember when they followed the Women's Royal Rumble one year with Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE title? And how
it was a snooze fest.
How dead the crowd was for that match?
Yeah.
Like, listen, it doesn't matter who it is. Any match you put in after a Royal Rumble match is going to get not the reaction that you would if it was a normal pay-per-view. But this pay-per-view is anything but normal. Sabin does a suicide dive, and immediately I think back to when Sabin first made his debut in TNA with, Hail Sabin! Hail Sabin! You know, I'm like, it makes me feel old, dude. It makes me feel so old, man. I remember when Sabin was a rookie, and now here he is, like, 20 years later. Looks like
I remember when Alex Shelley was a part of Paparazzi Productions, and he would bring a camera on a tripod to the ring with him every week on Impact. It's just like, when it took him 17 years to get to WWE.
Remember when Alex Shelley randomly interfered in a Dudley Boys versus LAX match on a pay-per-view?
Yeah,
I think that was the Ghetto Brawl during Destination X.
I had to be reminded that Shelley and Kevin Nash were fucking hilarious in TNA. You see those Paparazzi Production shorts, and they're trying to teach Kevin Nash how to do like a 450 splash. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
that's great.
Shelley does like an exchange with one of the wrestlers and says, "All right, Nash, you do that." And Nash goes, "Okay." And he takes the guy and just forearms him to the back. And Shelley goes, "No, that's not what I showed you." And Nash goes, "What? It worked."
So
TNA was meta as fuck.
TNA was something else when Russo was booking it. So this match, like you were talking about, very good tag team wrestling with a dead-ish crowd. I enjoyed it, though. There was some really creative tag team sequences in here, as you'd expect from two tag team wizards. So Shelley is the one who gets the hot tag in this first fall, and he is pinned by Tommaso Ciampa in a running knee after a great trick play, if I could use a football term. So Gargano is on the apron. Ciampa is reaching for the tag, and Gargano pulls his hand out of the way. It looks like they made a tag, but Gargano is not the legal man, and Shelley thinks that Gargano's the legal man, but DIY tricked them. They pulled a fast one here. Ciampa hits Shelley with the running knee, gets the first fall after, 2-3 minutes? Like
Yeah.
that's another issue I had with this match. The spacing of the falls. Like I don't think these guys got enough time. I think they needed like at least 20 minutes to really work their magic, but they cut the match down by 5 minutes. Like
I agree, but I don't know. I just feel like this match being on pay-per-view to begin with was a surprise. So I'm glad with what we got. You don't want to burn the crowd out too much. So I definitely think it could have benefited, but I still enjoyed what we got.
yeah. So then the second fall happens, and Shelly is the heat guy. Saban's on the apron. They do the fake out spot, which I always love in tag team wrestling, where the referee is distracted by one of the heels. It looks like Shelly gets the hot tag to Saban, but the referee doesn't see it. So the referee has to send Saban to his corner, and then DIY double teams Shelly for a bit. They actually...
You already talked about the Guns getting the second fall, right?
No, not yet, but DIY...
Oh, okay, because I want to complain about that.
DIY hit a shatter machine on Shelly, too, which I marked out for that. I marked out for it, but anyway, you want to talk about how this second fall ended?
The Guns hit their cross and bones finish, and
skull and bones.
No wonder I said it because I hate their finisher so fucking
really
much.
Why?
Because their arsenal is so versatile, and they do so many cool tag team moves. And you're gonna sit there and tell me their fucking finisher is a neck breaker and splash combo?
I think it's cool.
It's too simple. It's too basic.
Well, they also said the Doomsday device was too basic.
No, the Doomsday device is cool as fuck. It's a clothesline with an electric chair, and they flip the fuck over.
Well, then what about the 3D? That's pretty basic.
No, it's very impactful. I just don't think their finisher has enough oomph to it.
Well,
maybe if the splash was a 450. Maybe if the splash was a moonsault.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Maybe if it was like a tornado DDT into a frog splash, something cool. It's just like, because I remember when the Guns for this is what I think when I think about the Skull and Bones. So in 2010, I forget what pay-per-view it is, but the Guns wrestled Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks, and a fucking phenomenal opening match. One of the best openers in TNA history.
What show is that on?
Oh my god, I'm blanking. Maybe Slammiversary? So
I'm gonna look this up while you talk about it.
It's either 2009 or 2010. But these guys are kicking ass. So many different, unique tag team combination moves I've never even seen before. And they finish it with a splash and neckbreaker combo. And I just remember that finish being very underwhelming to me. I don't know. I would like to see a cooler finisher from them.
Was that match a Full Metal Mayhem match, or was it?
No, it was just a 2-on-2 match. Maybe for the tag team titles.
They also did an Ultimate X match, I'm seeing. Was it Bound for Glory 2010, maybe?
Probably.
I mean, it looks like I just searched out Motor City Machine Guns versus Generation Me, and I got a few results. So I want to look back on that before that was probably before the Bucks got grading on me. But anyway, the third fall happens, and there's not a lot of tagging. All four guys are saving each other from near falls. They're all like, the referee's kind of lost all control. Ciampa does hit his fairy tale ending at one point on Shelly, I believe. So then what happens is these guys are wrestling for a bit, and then two hooded figures run out to the ring, and Saban is about to hit a high impact move. Montez Ford appears, and distracting Saban. He's taking him out. Shelly's about to hit a high impact move. Angelo Dawkins clocks Shelly right in the back with a crutch, and then that is enough for DIY to hit the meet in the middle knee and super kick combo on Shelly to retain the titles. I'm going to give this match 3.5 stars. I enjoyed this. Again, it's in a death spot, though, after a Royal Rumble match, which I thought these guys did pretty well for the most part. Good shine on the tag titles.
I'm going to give it a 3.25 stars. I thought it was a very fun match, and for someone like me, very much appreciates this match, but I'm glad they got this spot. But a big 4 pay-per-view when you haven't even featured these guys on pay-per-view in months, of course, it's not going to be a huge reception. And I think this could be easily corrected by featuring them on pay-per-view more. As it comes to the Street Profits, I didn't know it was the Profits at first. I thought it was a tag team from NXT, and I was about to groan and say, this is not the place to debut an NXT tag team because they're not going to get any reaction whatsoever. Thank God I was wrong. And to people who were saying, oh, this is finally the Profits heel turn. No, because they attacked both teams. And you know what my idea is? Profits, DIY, Guns, triple threat ladder match at WrestleMania.
Please.
Profits win the titles.
I need that so badly. Like, you have no idea. Better yet, make it a TLC match, because you just had a ladder match on this show. How long's it been? How long's it been since we've seen TLC, Tomas?
A long time. Do you think
yeah.
TNA can give them permission to do Full Metal Mayhem?
Dude, that would, like, I didn't even think about that possibility. I want it now. I want Full Metal Mayhem.
I know we're going into fantasy territory, aka this will probably never happen, but hear me out. What if WWE and TNA struck a deal? TNA lets WWE do Full Metal Mayhem, and in exchange, I don't know, they let TNA do Hell in a Cell.
What about, no, better yet, put an Ultimate X over the ring. Like,
listen, the Guns and DIY, they're kind of getting up there in age. I don't want to see them kill themselves.
No.
Listen, Staben already did the fucking drop kick to that thing, and the guy flipped over and landed on his fucking neck. That
was AJ Styles.
Like that.
That was AJ Styles, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I look at that match and I'm like, no, I don't want to see anyone die. I don't think the Guns and DIY should be putting themselves. TLC is fine. TLC is fine.
TLC is just fine, yeah. Ciampa and Gargano both have kids. They need to grow old and see their kids grow up. So
yeah, also, Tommaso Ciampa has a fused neck. I don't want to see him taking spots from like 20 feet above.
Yeah.
I think the ladder is just fine.
No Ultimate X. No Ultimate X. Yeah, you're right. But fun enough match.
Yeah. Oh, no, real quick, before we move on to the next match.
Okay, all right.
I love the visual of DIY laid out, and Ciampa is clutching the title, and his face looks like fucking meatloaf. He got the shit kicked out of him, and he is bleeding.
You know what really grinds my gears?
And I just look at DIY, and I'm like, those are your winners, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That really grinds my gears. Even though DIY were the winners, they look like losers. I feel
not like that. Just like, while I was looking, I was like, wow.
I feel like Ciampa should, take some. I don't know. He should take some liberties with someone backstage. Like, I don't know, Randy Orton. Maybe give him an RKO from out of nowhere.
Let me guess. What did I tell you about announcing it like that?
Stupid.
Let me guess.
Stupid.
Their backstage skits are hilarious.
They fucking are.
Let me guess. You want to see a glorious bomb return.
Well, we sort of got a glorious bomb return, but then Tommaso Ciampa in the middle of a glorious bomb sees Randy Orton and then decides to try and do an out of nowhere RKO. Oh my god, the if you don't know what I'm talking about, just search up DIY from out of nowhere, and I'm sure the whole compilation will be on YouTube somewhere. And
yeah, they love doing skits backstage.
Yeah, and every
one of their infamous ones.
Yeah, and every time it ends, you get the iconic Randy Orton quote, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," and you get cameos from the likes of The Undertaker doing the catchphrase. You also get Kofi Kingston, of course, doing the catchphrase at the end, which is even funnier in retrospect. But yeah, go check those out.
Let me guess. Gargano should face Cody Rhodes.
Damn right. Better not be Kevin Owens again after this next match. But let's get into it.
Blow-offs to feuds in a ladder match for the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against the uncrowned Winged Eagle champion, Kevin Owens.
Hey,
you know what?
Tomas,
I'm glad.
I fucking told you this match ruled. I fucking told you.
It was good. It was very good.
What? Just good?
It was very good. It was very good.
Man.
And I'll get into why I said it was very good. It was very good. Especially after watching the match twice. It was a very good match.
Well, let's get into it.
We had the Raw on Netflix and the Saturday Night's main event reviews because we really don't have to go into the build. We've already covered the build. We know what we're getting ourselves into. These two have been feuding for a long time. This started at Bash in Berlin. Sure, it bled into them teaming up at Money in the Bank and, the whole SummerSlam debacle and the Bad Blood debacle, which all led up to this. So it's finally time to put this feud to rest. Kevin Owens stole the Winged Eagle title, and both titles are being suspended above the ring in a ladder match to finally put this feud to rest.
Yeah.
Son of the plumber versus the Canadian Dream, the son of a
security systems technician.
Man, Kevin Owens really is an inspiration to all of us, isn't he?
Kevin Owens is right, man. I don't care.
Owens was right.
He was very right. He's a justified villain. Why was Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman Reigns after Kevin Owens tried so hard to get the title off of Roman?
Yeah.
Why does Cody have to fight other people's battles?
And if Roman Reigns were to win the title back, then all of that work would be for nothing.
Exactly. That's why Roman Reigns should not win the title back, if not ever.
I'm going to say this now, before we even get into this match. This is an excellent position for Kevin Owens to be. And win or lose, he's a main eventer. He is a main eventer.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens is looking at his bank account right now, and he's not upset.
Yeah, but these guys, I'm sure he's not upset, but he's certainly going to be hurting for a bit after how fucking brutal this match was. Like, I would say, when this match was announced, I said that this had potential to be a match of the year contender, which is a bold statement, I know, but these guys went out there, and a lot of the best ladder matches lately have been centered around how crazy the high spots would be or how flashy the high spots would be. These guys didn't really have to do anything all that flashy because this was a personal vendetta between the two.
This match was very good. I would not say it's match of the year, though.
Well, you know what, man? I think this is where we're going to have the biggest disagreement all night. I loved this match. I loved it,
and I did too.
So much.
I liked it a lot. I thought they told a great story. And it was a good blow off to the feud. I'm not saying I was expecting more, but this match really centered around like 3 or 4 spots. And even though they got 5 minutes, I just, you look at something like Ladder Wars, for example. Were they doing triple moonsaults with 35 No, but you look at how fucking devastating the spots were in that, and that was a personal vendetta. I would have liked to have seen something with a little more flow. This ladder match felt methodical at times. There were still some great spots, don't get me wrong. Like, one of my favorites that happened in the beginning is that Kevin Owens grabs a mini ladder, and he pretends he's climbing up it to do a huge spot. He doesn't even do that. He just jumps off the ladder and gives a stomp, which I get is Kevin Owens' gimmick. But, for example, there, like, it would have been cool to see, like, a little bullfrog splash off of that ladder.
What about...
consistent action.
I saw that step ladder be brought in, and I was like, is fucking Hornswoggle under there? Is he going to have a Royal Rumble cameo? Like, because
Would you have lost your mind if he did?
I mean, I wouldn't have been happy. I wouldn't have been sad. I would have been like, okay, it's fucking Hornswoggle. Yeah, this feels like a Vince McMahon move more than anything. The crowd was so into this match. Kevin Owens body slams Cody Rhodes onto the metal parts of the ladder that connect it when it's open. And I was like, Jesus Christ, because that spot looked like it hurt. Then Kevin takes a body slam of his own from Cody on the top part of the ladder. Fucking Christ. Never do that again. Never do that again.
I think Kevin Owens is setting up for a power bomb, and Cody Rhodes does a back body drop, not on top of the ladder, not on the side of the ladder, on the top rung that's sticking pointed out on the very edge. Jeez. And that looked like it hurt like a motherfucker.
Whew. Yeah.
Kevin Owens how old is Kevin Owens? He's got to be like, what, late 30s?
Late 30s, maybe going into his 40s.
He's 40 years old.
He is?
He has, what, 2 kids? He has, he's probably has back problems because he's been wrestling for like 20 plus years. That could have not have tickled, like, at him. Probably taking a hot bath with an ice pack with some icy hot. And, if Kevin Owens needs to take a week or 2 off, then he fucking earned it.
Yeah, yeah. Kevin Owens was constantly yelling out, "I'm the champ," while he was beating up Cody, because he is the rightful champ. I mean, Cody never really beat him at Saturday Night's Main Event. Kevin Owens has
I mean, he
been,
did.
Kevin Owens has been carrying around the Winged Eagle title, so I mean, I beg to differ. Cody, there was actually a fun little Wade Barrett tribute in this match because Cody like kicks off the bottom rung of a ladder that's set up, just like Wade did to him at WrestleMania 31, which we were in the building for. Starts clattering Kevin Owens with that ladder rung as like a shillelagh of some sort.
Well, in even deeper reference, remember Cody's last last WrestleMania appearance, WrestleMania 32, in that ladder match? Kevin Owens did that to Cody Rhodes there too.
Oh, so, I fucking forgot about that.
You mean to tell me that Cody Rhodes waited almost 10 years to get payback from that one spot?
Damn. Yeah.
To quote my friend during the show, that was a deep cut. That was a very deep cut.
Jesus. So Kevin Owens gives him what looks like a pop-up powerbomb onto a ladder, which, again, could not have been comfortable. Cody's selling in this match was so incredible. Like he takes these big spots from Kevin Owens. He keeps coming back for more. The quarterback of the WWE he's not backing down. I think that
was my favorite part of this match. This was the match. Not saying that Cody hadn't done it like in Hell in a Cell or anything like that. This was the match that if you thought Cody was soft, nuh-uh.
No.
He took some nasty ass bumps in this match.
Cody.
So dude, they're fighting to the top. And I mean, I saw this coming. I just didn't think it was going to be this devastating. Favorite moves that Kevin Owens does is somebody sets him up for a superplex, and Kevin Owens will turn it into a twisting fisherman buster from the top rope, which is a devastating move on its own. These motherfuckers fly halfway across the ring and do it onto a ladder. And dude, Cody Rhodes pops up to his feet and flare flops to the ground. And
I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. Like, the crowd reacted accordingly. And this was actually my biggest issue with this match. As much as I loved it, I don't think it needed all the producers running down to the ring and Nick Aldis running down to the ring to check on these guys.
It kind of made me question why they did this in the first place, because not only do all those people run down, Sami Zayn runs down. And my first thought is, Sami Zayn needs to be focusing on the Men's Royal Rumble, not this match.
So here's my thing. The producers running out to check on these guys, I don't think really added anything to the match. But Sami running down, I would have kept that. Because Kevin Owens, over the past couple of weeks, has been getting in Sami Zayn's ear. Sami Zayn is his best friend. And he's like, listen, we helped Cody win the title from Roman. You win the Royal Rumble. And I know you can win the Royal Rumble. I want you to win the Royal Rumble. But you can't main event WrestleMania unless you help me win the title. Or something along those lines. Like Kevin Owens has said that their dream has been to headline Mania together, one-on-one. Even though they main evented as a team when we were in the building. Like, they've already done that.
But here's my thing with that. I saw that, and I started getting anxious because I was starting to wonder, is Sami Zayn going to interfere? Sami Zayn even ran up to Cody Rhodes to check on him. He was checking on Kevin Owens. But the referees were actively pushing him back, but there's no disqualification. So Sami Zayn has every right to interfere if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And I was keeping an eye on that. And especially in this final spot, which was just as devastating.
Oh, boy.
They make their way out to the announce table. And Cody Rhodes just absolutely fucking loses his mind. He starts slamming Kevin Owens' face against the announce table, and Kevin Owens blades. We are in 2025, and wrestlers are blading again. But again, just like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, this match warranted it. This match needed color for two reasons. Number one, it's a very personal match. Number two, it's a tribute to Dusty, because Dusty's greatest matches always had color. Look at him and Harley Race. Those brutal cage matches, those brutal Texas Bull Rope matches, they needed color. And back in the days of the territory days, you knew it was personal when they wanted to make each other bleed. Blood has become such a formality in wrestling nowadays. Like, this is not an excuse to call out AEW, but you look at something like AEW and blood every week, blood here, blood there. I guess we have ECW to blame for it, but even in ECW, it was warranted in those feuds. Don't bleed just to bleed. Blood should be for super personal matches like this. And I think this match did call for it.
Absolutely. And another thing that it did so effectively, because the story with Cody lately is that he's now the hunted. He's not the hunter. So all of his friends are now turning on him. And he doesn't really have a friend to, like, confide in. Mm-hmm. That promo that he and CM Punk had on Raw last week was fucking incredible. And Punk was telling...
Even though Cody shouldn't have been there, he's the SmackDown champion.
Correct, but it's his hometown. Even though Punk...
SmackDown should have been in Atlanta.
Even though Punk was in the ring, he's like, I'm telling you this as a friend. When I win the Royal Rumble, I'm coming after you. He was being totally transparent with him, and I would appreciate that out of my friends, but Cody is just... He's so tired. He's so stressed out now. Being the quarterback is a lot of work. You know?
This may be a little unrelated, but I don't think it is. Look back to his first feud after winning the title. AJ Styles. Yep. People were saying, what a fucking idiot Cody was to go out there and console AJ Styles for the fake retirement. You know what? No, that was part of the story. Because Cody, even though he won the WWE title, was still naive. He still thought he could trust AJ Styles. And what did AJ Styles do? Stabbed him in the back for his own personal gain. You take that, you take the Kevin Owens stuff, you take the Randy Orton stuff, you take the Roman Reigns stuff, and now Cody Rhodes is in a position where he goes, I can't trust anyone.
It's going to continue to be a story for Cody over the course of the next year or so, because as I predicted, Cody Rhodes did win this match. He retained the title.
Hold on. Before we do that, we got to talk about the finishing spot.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Right on top, you're good. They're on the announce table. Kevin Owens goes for the package pile driver. And I love this mainly because it was a tribute to Cody Rhodes' first tag team partner, Hardcore Holly.
Yo!
He gives Kevin Owens the Alabama Slammer off the announce table through the fucking ladder, and Kevin Owens' head his neck just folds like an accordion. And I will go on a limb and say this is the greatest sell spot I've ever seen Kevin Owens do.
So when that happened, because I was not watching this pay-per-view live, just for vantage point reasons, when I saw that happen, number one, I flipped the fuck out at how nasty that looked. That is the stiffest looking Alabama Slam I've seen in at least 20 years since Hardcore Holly did it to Daniel Puder at this same event. That is a flex of a
I was going to say, I bet Bob Holly was watching that match going, hell yeah. I taught you well, Cody. Fuck your opponent.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, one person that Bob Holly actually likes, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of those on this planet. So, anyway, when I saw that spot, number one, I was like, holy shit. And number two, I was just looking around for details of when Kevin Owens' funeral was. Because that guy fucking died right in front of me. It landed right on his fucking head in between the rungs. And I'm like, bro, Kevin Owens, hardcore wrestler. That was it. That was it. That was the kill shot. Cody Rhodes did not need to hit a cross Rhodes. Did not need to hit a fucking Cody Cutter. Didn't need to hit a disaster kick. Alabama Slam should be one of Cody's new finishers. I'm gonna sit here and make that bold claim. Cody should find some way to put the Alabama Slam into his repertoire, and
he should rename it to the Atlanta Slam.
He should, because he's not from Alabama. In fact, Cody Rhodes, then climbs up the ladder, pulls down both titles, and Cody retains. Kevin Owens is being consoled by Sammy on the outside, and you just see so much blood. And in the background, Cody Rhodes is on the announce table triumphant, holding up both titles. What a beautiful visual.
There's a few things I want to say about this finish. Number one, was it me or was Cody struggling to get the titles down? I know what he wanted to do. He wanted to unhook the carabiner and hold up the little thing that holds up both titles. But I don't know, maybe he was knocked a little loopy. He couldn't find the hook, so he decided to just unhook the title normal. And I'm just sitting there going what's taking you so long? And then I realized, he wanted the shot of him on the second to last rung, holding up both the titles. And that's when I remember people giving Powerhouse Hobbs so much shit for winning that ladder match and the referees having to hold the ladder. They were doing the same thing for Cody. You know what the difference was between that and the AEW spot? WWE does a better job of hiding the fact that the referee's holding the ladder. Because I agree, you don't want them to die up there. Yes, they need that stability, but the camera work is so crucial to that because you don't want to see the referee holding down the ladder. So that's number one. Number two, it makes me wonder why Sami Zayn was out there. Because I was wondering, is Sami Zayn going to run in there and shove Cody off the ladder? But he didn't. And again, now I'm starting to wonder, what was Sami Zayn's purpose for being out there? I'm not saying it was stupid or like pointless. It makes me wonder, like, okay, what's going to happen on Raw tonight? What's going to happen on SmackDown on Friday? Which is a good thing. Like, it makes me wonder, like, where are they going with this?
Now I think, because you say that, I think that's just a little wrinkle in this storied Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, never-ending story. Because Kevin Owens was asking Sami to help him. Sami didn't help him. So Kevin Owens is going to be a little bit rift that Sami, didn't help him win the big one.
I hate to be, I don't want to be the one to rain on everyone's parade. And I know what everyone's thinking. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Guys, Randy Orton's still a thing.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know, maybe they just blow that feud off at Elimination Chamber.
I wouldn't mind that. It's in Canada. It's in Canada. Like that crowd would
I'm
be.
talking about doing Owens and Orton in Elimination Chamber, and you do Zayn and Owens at WrestleMania. You could do that.
You could, but I would flip it around. I would have Owens and Zayn in the Sky Dome, maybe in some type of street fight type of match. I don't know. But the reason why I say Owens and Zayn in Canada is because both guys are so beloved over there. And I feel like it would mean so much to the crowd. It would mean so much to those two guys if they got like one of those headlining spots at Elimination Chamber in the Sky Dome.
Well, there's only one problem. They're on different shows.
Yeah, Kevin Owens showed up on Raw and asked Sami to help him, didn't he?
Well, then one of them should permanently move shows.
They should. Because if anything, Owens should move over to Raw. Or something. Or vice versa.
Cody Rhodes?
Or Sami going over to SmackDown. I don't know. Yeah, probably more likely Owens moves to Raw because the Rhodes Owens story is very much over.
There's one more issue I had, and I didn't realize this until I rewatched this match. It feeds more into my Kevin Owens was right. What reason did Cody Rhodes have to make his way halfway up the ramp and then turn around, come back, and rub it in Kevin Owens' face even more that he lost?
Man, being the quarterback really gets to your head too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder how Patrick Mahomes feels. I wonder how.
It doesn't matter that Cody Rhodes won this match. Oh, that's another point I wanted to get into. It doesn't matter that Cody Rhodes won this match. Kevin Owens was still right.
Yeah, absolutely. But
with that being said,
go ahead.
I know what everyone's saying. Kevin Owens should have won. Kevin Owens should have won. He should be world champion. I think this was the right call. I really do.
Me too.
This was the right call. We are too close to WrestleMania. Whether you like it or not, Cody Rhodes is still one of the biggest stars in the company.
He is the biggest star in the company.
It's too close to Mania to take the title off of him. I said it. Yes, I said it. Kevin Owens will be world champion again one day. It's going to happen. But right now, I think Cody Rhodes needed to go into WrestleMania as world champion.
Yeah, and not only that, I think they're going to continue telling the story of all of Cody's friends turning on him over the next year. Not only do I think, obviously he's walking into Mania as champion, I think he's leaving Mania as champion too. I think he's retaining. Yeah. So, might as fucking well.
May I remind everybody that Cody Rhodes ended a 4-year-long title reign. He has to make up for it for at least holding the title for a year. I get it. Not every single world championship reign needs to be a Roman Reigns reign. But when you're coming off the heels of that, then yes, the length of his title run needs to matter. After Cody Rhodes, fuck it. Back to 6-month reigns, 4-month reigns. You can do stuff like that. But I know for a fact, you put the title on Kevin Owens right now, he's a transitional champion. And if there's one thing I want even less than Kevin Owens, I want, you know what I'm trying to say. I do not want Kevin Owens to be a transitional champion because if he is, then putting the title on him, it's fucking pointless. You know why you wanted it? You wanted it for the moment. You wanted it because you have some sort of weird hate boner for Cody Rhodes.
Kevin Owens,
is one
Yeah.
of the greatest.
Kevin deserves more than a 6-week reign. He really does.
He does.
With that in mind, this match gets 4.5 stars from me. I loved it.
Oh yeah, same for me.
So much. It's an early contender for a match of the year in WWE. What do you mean, eh?
It was good. It was very good. Very, very, very good.
I'd say it's Cody's best match since probably, I don't know, probably since May. No, actually, no. No, because AJ's match at Backlash was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would say it's the best match he's had since Backlash.
Yeah, I think him and Solo Sikoa was pretty good.
No, it wasn't. But anyway, yeah. So Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania against ? We could find that answer out in our main event, the men's Royal Rumble match. And you have at least...
You mean it's time for the main event.
Well, Mark Henry was not... Well, was he in the building for this? I don't know.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, no, he was in the building for Raw on Netflix, I think. But anyway, Alicia Taylor has to explain the rules to us a second time as if we did not see another match with the same stipulation not even 2 hours before.
Maybe somebody had to take a hour and 10-minute shit.
I know I have to yell about this every single year, but we just had a match just like this open up the show. And unless you're
what if people tuned in late?
I don't understand it. But yeah, so it's the men's Royal Rumble. You have at least 7 different people in here who could feasibly win. It's the most unpredictable Royal Rumble in years. Up first at number 1 is Rey Mysterio. Probably the oldest guy in the ring at 50 years old. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. And as soon as I see Rey walk out, I'm like, there can only be one guy to start this match off with Rey at number 2. And
you're right. The Miz.
No.
John Cena?
It's Penta, ladies and gentlemen. Penta at number 2, and Tony Khan is shitting bricks somewhere. This is a bold fucking move by WWE to put it, hey, Tony Khan, eat your fucking heart out. This is how you treat Penta. And ever since Penta showed up a couple weeks ago, I was in the building for his debut match against Chad Gable in a banger fucking match, by the way. The crowd in San Jose loved it. I loved that match. It was so good. Penta has been booked and treated with the utmost respect. And he's been selling merch out the ass. He's been selling masks out the ass. He's been going to visit children's hospitals. His face is plastered all over the Royal Rumble Superstore in Indianapolis. He is dead center. Penta is going to be a major player in this company.
Tony Khan, why is this so difficult for you? Why is this so difficult?
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Triple H did with Penta in less than a month what Tony Khan couldn't do with him for 5 years.
Well, that's because he kept him in tag team purgatory. Same problem we had with Malachi Black. Same problem he's probably going to have with Bobby Lashley. Penta is on his own. He can be a world champion here. I'm serious. He really could. If WWE really wants to go back to the days of Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, ironically enough, and fine, I'll say this attempt with Alberto Del Rio. If they want to really capture the hearts of the Latino audience, at some point in the next 5 years, put that world title on Penta. Because he's got that aura. He's got that
Penta
aura.
Is the most over luchador probably since Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and he's like a luchador version of Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah. You see how much swagger he has walking out?
Oh yeah. I love the memes I've been seeing. When Penta does that little sneaky walk, and people are saying me at 3 a.m. sneaking down the stairs to get myself a little snack.
We should, if we ever have the chance to meet Penta, in your case, meet him again, we should show him some of those memes. Yes. We really should. I think he'd laugh at them. Rey Mysterio, the look on his face when he sees that it's Penta across the ring from him, this is the most respectful start I've ever seen to a Royal Rumble match. Probably since Triple H and Rey Mysterio in 2006. Rey Mysterio extends his hand They shake. Penta says, "Thank you so much for this opportunity to allow me to face you for 2 minutes." But he's like, "But trust me, Holmes, I'm not going to go easy on you." And then he throws.
I love this. Yeah. Cero Miedo, and Ray with a smirk on his face goes 6-1-9. It was. The fact that I was watching it with 2 other Mexicans, we were like, this is so fucking cool. Penta and Ray. Oh my God.
What a way to start, man. What a way to start. Too bad Penta was eliminated like within the first 2 minutes. Because
I think WWE edited this out, and this
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Because Penta gets okay. This is my one criticism of Penta since he's joined. He's nervous.
Very nervous.
I mean, that's okay, but he's nervous and he's a little sloppy. Yeah. So Ray goes to throw him out of the ring, and Penta, his feet hit the floor. Both feet hit the floor, and I collapse. I go, fuck, he's eliminated.
Yeah, he's eliminated.
He's eliminated, and Wade Barrett goes, I have razor sharp eyes. Only 1 foot touched the floor, and I'm like,
no.
They didn't. Both feet did touch the floor, but if WWE is just going to pretend, if they're going to gaslight us, because literally, I think it was during the Women's Rumble. I may have jinxed it. I may have brought this into the universe. But I remember looking at my friends and going, what if somebody accidentally gets eliminated, way sooner than they should have? What do they do? I got my question answered. They pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, Penta, both of his feet hit the floor after going over the top rope, and for some reason, the referees around ringside are about as blind as Wade Barrett is, because they let Penta keep going for 42 minutes.
To be fair, he did it so quickly that I guess, I know, it's weird. It's like, this is, I may be over-exaggerating, but this might be the biggest Rumble botch since Cena and Batista hitting the floor at the same time.
Oh, yeah, without question. 20 years ago, which is nuts that I'm saying that it happened 20 years ago.
So, whatever, Penta's not eliminated.
Yes, he is.
You could say he got eliminated twice.
Yes, he is. He was eliminated. Yeah.
Number 3 is Chad Gable. Wow, Chad Gable's racist, man. He hates luchadors.
Right? So Chad Gable's
Dragon Lee. He hates Penta.
I mean, he's American made. The gimmick is Chad Gable hates Mexicans. And he wants to get him out of his country, I guess. I don't know.
Racist, man.
But he's a fucking racist. Yeah, that's horrible. Never do that. Never tell a Mexican if they come to America to leave. I'm just saying that.
Tell Chad Gable that.
Never do that. Chad Gable is so, he can't beat luchadors, man. He can't do it. No. Gable makes a beeline for Penta, in a callback to the match they had a couple weeks back, which, again, was a banger. I must remind you, it was so fucking good. Penta and, Ray and Penta team up, and Ray goes off Penta's shoulders, does a splash on Gable, and Ray misses the landing and lands right on Gable's fucking knees. That can't have been comfortable, hyperextending. Up next, out number 4 is Carmelo Hayes, sprinting down to the ring. He and Gable team up, which is kind of ironic because, Gable, hates people who aren't his color of skin. I guess that's his, his gimmick.
About Carmelo Hayes, what the fuck are they doing with this guy?
Nothing.
What the fuck are they doing with this guy?
Absolutely nothing.
This guy should be a future WWE champion. And he's losing to Braun Strowman. He's losing to Cody Rhodes. He lost to fucking Damian Priest, who's on SmackDown now. But what are we doing, man?
He's so good.
What are we doing?
He's too good. He's too good to be on a losing streak. Yeah.
He's still him.
He really is like a younger, smaller, more athletic version of MVP, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Remember MVP's whole gimmick was ballin'?
Yeah.
Melo
don't miss.
Melo don't miss. Exactly. Yeah.
Now let me hear you say Melo.
I was in the building when he won the NXT title, man. The crowd wanted Melo to win that title, and he fucking did.
Didn't he go up to Ray, try to shake his hand, and went,
yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Melo don't miss. Melo don't miss.
He should have went up to Penta and said, hey, you got something on your shirt.
Melo don't miss, but Ray certainly missed Melo's handshake. But number 5, speaking of people they're doing nothing with, it's Santos Escobar in his 3rd Rumble match. Again, Chad Gable is having a conniption since another Mexican is entering the ring. What a beautiful Mexican destroyer by Santos on Penta. What a fucking gnarly looking move. And then after he hits it, he does the Seto Miedo, mocking it, and then suck it. You know,
it was his first like 10 people where I was like, God damn, the Hispanic representation in WWE is quite deep right now.
Yep. And then speaking of Mexican representation, out comes Otis at number 6. I don't know.
Blue collar brawler.
I don't know. The blue
give it to Otis.
Blue collar babe. Blue collar babe. That's what his jacket said.
But he's still the blue collar brawler.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He steps up to Chad Gable, and you know what? I get it. I'm so over this feud, Gable and Otis. I get it, but they still work together very well, and the crowd still pops huge for Otis. Gable slaps Otis, but the receipt he got in return was so fucking unnecessary of Otis. He fucking slapped Chad Gable into next year.
Yes, he did.
Does Gable owe Otis money or something? Because
this was after Chad Gable intercepted Otis doing the Caterpillar and catching him for an ankle lock. I don't know. Maybe they had a bet going on for the AFC Championship game. Chad Gable picked the Kansas City Chiefs, and Otis owed him some money. I don't know.
If Gable did pick the Chiefs, and I like him even less now.
Yeah. Fuck the Chiefs. But in any regard, out next at number 7, the ring's starting to fill up a little bit. But thank God we have Braun Breaker, the unpredictable badass, the Intercontinental Champion, coming out at number 7. And, well, everybody fucking dies. Everyone dies. Braun Breaker runs down to the ring. It looks like he's running very fast, but it doesn't look like he's breaking a sweat at all going to the ring. And the first thing...
one question.
Yeah.
Are there any dogs in Indianapolis tonight? He runs in there and he fucking mows down Carmelo Hayes with a spear.
Breaks him in fucking half. Thanks for coming, buddy. Right over the top rope. Both feet hit the floor.
Best spear in the biz.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it definitely is. Then he spears Santos Escobar, sends him packing over the top rope. Then
You want me to talk about it?
Yes.
So you don't have to.
Yes. Yeah.
So number 8 is Akira Tozawa. And I'm kind of thinking, it's kind of random, but whatever. I mean, we've seen a lot of these. And let me complain about this before we get into what happens next. Hayes is going up the ramp, and he blasts Tozawa from behind. And here I am thinking, I'm like, okay, Akira Tozawa, world-class athlete, former cruiserweight champion, and a simple elbow to the back of the head. That's it. He can't wrestle.
Yeah,
no,
well,
he's done. He's done for the night.
Clocked him right in the back of the head. You know?
That's like if I was heading to go on stage and I like tripped over my own feet and I go, oh, no, I'm done.
Man, Mello must have a titanium steel like bone in his forearm.
Like, if you want to take someone out, take them the fuck out. Like, powerbomb them through a table. Send them through the stage. Don't just hit him in the back of the head. Like, seriously? You're a WWE wrestler. You take way worse than that. You stepped in the ring with Omos one time.
Yes, he did.
If you're going to go by that logic, then Tozawa should be dead. Well, then again, Braun Breaker put Ricochet through a car, and we haven't seen him since. We just have some weird dude named Trevor in AEW. I don't know what that's about.
I'm winning, baby! I'm winning, baby!
But, so, Tozawa gets helped in the back, and I told myself, okay, if they show Tozawa in Gorilla, we know they're going to send a replacement for him.
Yeah, and Hunter goes up to Adam Pearce, and he's like, hey, can he go? And Adam Pearce is like, no, I don't think he can. And Hunter's like, well, we got to find a replacement. And Hunter
can I tell you how much I hated this? I hated this because, not because, yes, because we took the place, but this was so badly acted. Like, the fact that Triple H immediately, and I mean immediately, found a replacement for him. Like, I get it. It's pro wrestling. You have to suspend your disbelief.
Well, he only has 2 minutes to find a replacement. He has to make a split-second decision.
Acted. Yeah, the witch was like, oh, you, can you go? You go. Who's he talking to? I Show Speed. Do you know who I Show Speed is? That's okay, because I don't know who he is.
Well, I did some research on him, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of his. I'll be honest. Personality-wise, I Show Speed seems like I don't want to say that. Just some of the stuff he's been accused of in the past too. Like, he seems like bad news.
Listen, man,
like bad news.
It's the Logan Paul crew. It's just all of his little buddies. They're all those shithead streamers. And yeah, I didn't, again, I watch my fair of YouTube. I watch a lot of video gamers. I watch a lot of video game reviewers. I feel like the video game reviewers I watch are very wholesome and they're very good people. People who just legitimately love playing video games. People like I Show Speed, people like KSI. I feel like, yeah, they game, but they're more interested in bullshit drama than anything else. Like, if I'm going to watch a guy play Super Mario Odyssey, I want to hear him talk about Super Mario Odyssey, not about whose girlfriend are you fucking. So again, this whole subculture it's not me. I don't know a single person that knows any of these people. So whatever, I get it. I'm an old man. I'm not with the times anymore. But whatever. I mean, if he's a celebrity, he's a celebrity.
So,
I think our buddy Good
barely
brought it up best. You know, you look back. I mean, just because he's not a celebrity doesn't mean he's not a celebrity. He is a personality. You know, you look back in WWE's timeline, you know, you have your Drew Carey's, you have your Pete Roses. Celebrities do have their place in wrestling. And whatever, this was I guess, as harmless as you could get. I Show Speed makes his way into the ring. Apparently, he can do a backflip. You know, cool. He helps Braun Breaker eliminate Otis, which kind of keep me off. But I knew exactly what was coming after this. And this was fucking great. The minute Otis goes over the top rope, I see Breaker go for the ropes. I'm like, oh, fuck. He hits the ropes once. He hits the ropes twice. He hits the ropes a third time. And he fucking murders this kid. He spears this guy into another dimension.
Dude, like, just you talking about it and not me watching it is... Listen, dude, like, this is, like, the hardest spear I've ever seen a non-trained wrestler take. Speed isn't even a wrestler, so he doesn't even deserve that title. So, Braun Breaker... He's like playing it up with this kid, like, hey, thanks for helping me eliminate a big brute. And then he's like, Royal Rumble's every man for himself. Don't turn your back. Fucking annihilates him.
Now listen,
like,
I Show Speed, don't like him. But you know what? He could have taken a skull-crushing finale from The Miz. He could have taken something very safe, like, I don't know, the 619 from Rey Mysterio. He could have taken a very, light attitude adjustment from John Cena. No, he took the hardest fucking finisher in WWE today from the strongest motherfucker in WWE today. I have to admit it, earns my respect. And to make matters even worse, Braun Breaker military presses this kid out of the ring. Otis catches him, and Otis, without a care in the world, tosses him over his head, and Speed lands on the announce table.
And to the floor. And, like, Michael Cole hilariously looks down and asks, "Are you okay, sir?" And apparently, while number 9 was making his way to the ring, with who we'll talk about, Speed asks Cole, "Where am I?" Speed had no clue where he was.
This is also the kid that took an RKO on an announce table at WrestleMania last year.
Yep, and Randy hilariously barked in his face before hitting the RKO.
Don't you think Braun Breaker should be in jail right now?
Yeah, for animal cruelty. But, I mean, at the same time, like, this is a dog-eat-dog world. I mean, 2 dogs, fighting each other. You would think Michael Vick booked this Royal Rumble,
This dog-on-dog violence needs to stop.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Michael Vick, stop booking the beginning of the Royal Rumble.
So, I will admit, this was very satisfying.
It was great. It was so fucking funny. Then number 9 comes out, and it's pasty white boy Sheamus coming out for another banger, the 2012 Royal Rumble winner. He hits 10 beats of the Baldwin on Chad Gable before even entering the ring. Then he gives 12 to Braun Breaker, a direct callback to last week, Saturday night's main event. Irish Curse backbreaker, hits a brogue kick on Braun Breaker. Out comes Big Jim at number 10.
Big Jim.
That's right. Would you be intimidated by a man named Big Jim?
Listen, man, I love Jimmy Uso. He is so underrated. He's funny as fuck. But they are trying way too hard to give him an identity. And I don't think Big Jim is cutting it for me.
Nah. He was better as a bad guy going up against his brother. least I thought
Yeah.
so. Just don't put them in the ring together anymore. Just don't do that, because if
Jimmy
you
Uso, I think, is underrated. I think he's funny as fuck. He's not as over as Jay.
No.
I mean, clearly. But I don't, again, they're trying way too hard to give this guy an identity.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some advice. Let Jimmy be himself.
Yeah.
Jimmy by himself, again, he's funny as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let him be Roman's cuck boy. Just let him go on his own. Out at number 11 is Andrade, another Mexican entering the ring, and Chad Gable is having a conniption somewhere.
I also want to say, what are we doing with Andrade? It's been
nothing.
Year.
Absolutely fucking nothing. He was in a tag team match with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. He was in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He had a great series on TV with Carmelo Hayes, leading to a title shot at Crown Jewel. And over the past year, Andrade, he's been there, but he hasn't really done a whole lot of note.
I want to see Andrade versus Cody.
Yes. Yeah, let's have a flaming tables match and a direct callback to AEW. Yeah, and let's really rub it in Tony's face. Okay.
Ooh, you ready to get real scared now?
So the ring is all filled up, right? The ring is, it's time for people to come back in and eliminate, a few people. That's what I liked about the men's Rumble as compared to the women's match. They didn't let the ring get too full of people. It was a perfect order of guys to come out one after the other. And when it was time, when the ring was filled up, another big brawler would come in and just clean house. Braun Breaker just did it. And at number 12, you have the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Bay Area wrestling community, rather. So fucking proud of this man. He brutalized Braun Strowman last week. Left him in a bloody heap. And now it's time for him to eliminate a bunch of people.
Remember when I said I praised Jacob Fatu for his promo for Saturday night's main event? Everybody, stop what you're doing. Pause this video. Go watch Jacob Fatu's promo against Damian Priest on Friday. This man is a fucking star.
He's a freak. He is an absolute freak.
And they gave him the stick, and he is as amazing on the mic as he is in the ring.
Yes. He's a Samoan werewolf. Gets a huge entrance. Fire is going up over him as he's making his way down.
He dropped some bars on Damian Priest.
Sure
you
did, man.
You can braid your hair all you want, Priest, but don't get it twisted. As far as I'm concerned, me and Tama Tonga, we run SmackDown now. So we either said something like post up or we gonna beat your ass. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God. Fatu.
I fucking love this man. I need to buy his t-shirt. So he hits a very impressive double Samoan drop on both luchadors that started the match, Penta and Rey. Then he tosses Chad Gable out of the ring, even though he was also beating up on the Mexican people. He also eliminates Chad Gable. Andrade is unceremoniously tossed out by Fatu. Andrade takes some heinous-looking offense from this man. But then we get a stare down between Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. Sign me the fuck up for that match. I am I'm so giddy to see it. But we don't even necessarily get it. We don't even necessarily get physicality from those two guys. They stare down. Sheamus and Jimmy Uso interrupts the fun. And then just in time for number 13, Ludwig Kaiser. Where was Samantha Irvin to announce into the ring? Ludwig Kaiser.
Kaiser does something very weird. He runs all the way to the ring, and then he stops. And then he starts caressing the ring apron. And one of my friends I was watching with was getting very irritated with Kaiser. And my friend has this really weird, premonition thing where he can just predict weird shit, little shit that doesn't matter. It's like
he's Nostradamus.
He goes, fuck this guy. Fuck this Ludwig Kaiser motherfucker. Penta, eliminate him. Kaiser gets in the ring. 6 seconds later, Penta eliminates him.
Yes.
Look forward to that match tonight. That match is probably going to happen tonight.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. Yeah, Penta's had 3 matches in WWE, including the Royal Rumble match, and all of them have been bangers. So, out next at number 14, the cursed number 14, is The Miz. You could argue that something cursed already happened to The Miz in his hometown, which is sad to say, but thank you to all the Los Angeles County Fire Department firefighters for kicking that thing's ass and containing it. I just watched the Grammys with Lindsay last night, and there were a whole bunch of like really somber video packages and uplifting stuff. The firefighters came out and announced the what was it? It was the album of the year, I think, the most prestigious award, which I thought was a really cool touch. So thank you to all the firefighters. Miz comes out again, not really much happening. We're halfway through the Rumble, and we predicted this. We predicted this.
We all did it. We all did it.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I had to. I'm so happy for this man. The TNA
we
World
all saw it coming.
Yep.
We all saw it coming. But the place erupted. I erupted. For who?
Joe Hendry, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I'm so happy for him. He looked like he was he was soaking it all in, and he wanted to, but then he remembered how long this ramp is, and it looks kind of awkward, him running to the ring with the TNA World title on his shoulder. Joe Hendry gives all of his big offense to The Miz. Thank you to The Miz for, really introducing Joe Hendry to the main roster audience, because you basically get all of his big moveset here. Joe Hendry hits a very impressive looking standing ovation chokeslam. It's a delayed chokeslam, gives it to The Miz, and there's a point where Joe Hendry does the viral thing where he looks at the crowd. Camera misses it, unfortunately, but he starts doing the "We Will Rock You" thing. He's doing the clap, and the crowd is going with it. And Sheamus is important to this, because Sheamus is just sitting there and he's looking at Joe Hendry, and then he starts hearing the "We Will Rock You" thing. And he starts clapping along. Jacob Fatu comes in there, ruins all the fun. Sheamus then approaches Fatu very politely, and he's like, "Fella, I was enjoying that. What, do you think you're all tough?"
So happy for also, by the way, Jacob Fatu versus Sheamus. Give me that shit for an hour.
Sheamus should be in the Rumble record books. He spent 30 seconds believing in Joe Hendry. That's the longest time somebody has ever spent believing in Joe Hendry in a Royal Rumble. Sheamus should be in the record books.
If Sheamus and Fatu wrestled, I guarantee you, Fatu would leave with 2 missing teeth. Sheamus would leave with 2 black eyes. Fatu would leave with a broken jaw. Sheamus would be spitting up blood.
Sheamus's skin would be at least 3 shades darker.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, they would leave that ring, put their arms around each other, and go out and have a beer. I want to see that match so badly.
I do too. I really want to see it.
But, listen, this Rumble has been great. But now it's all time for us to take a moment of silence and acknowledge our tribal chief.
Because number 16 is Roman Reigns. And how weird is it, after 5 years, to see Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble match again?
Yeah.
Because Roman's been champion. Like, ever since 2020, Roman couldn't be in the Rumble because he was the champ. So now he's in. He has to earn his spot at WrestleMania this time. Paul Heyman takes the falafel off of his neck, and he walks down.
That's the ufalafa. Thank you very much.
And Roman Reigns, he's got to eliminate a bunch of people. He really has to. It's his first Rumble in 5 years.
Also, I loved how when Roman Reigns came out, none of us reacted. I didn't react. I sat there, and I acknowledged our tribal chief. I looked at everyone in the room, and I said, "Acknowledge tribal chief."
You will acknowledge him, son. You will acknowledge him.
Stood there.
I mean,
so he got this
60,000 strong. Acknowledge Roman Reigns.
I have to bring this up. I'm sorry, it's so off topic, but I was watching some Instagram reels before we started recording, and there was this guy who said, "Guys, if you really want to know what a Roman salute is," and I'm like, I know where he's fucking going with this. I'll show you. Watch. I'll show you right here. He just threw up the
Acknowledge him.
Yeah.
You will acknowledge me.
In this country, we acknowledge our tribal chief.
Damn fucking right we do. So Roman Reigns makes very quick work of The Miz, spears him, sends him flying over the top rope. Spears Sheamus in another callback to an old feud the Big Dog had all those years ago. A shitty feud, for that matter. Eliminates Sheamus, and then Joe Hendry of all people, squares up to the tribal chief. And you think he's going to get, like, some sort of move on him? But no, Roman Reigns spears him, eliminates Joe Hendry. Boo.
I
Boo.
love this TNA WWE relationship.
Boo.
We got Joe Hendry and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if there was a physical embodiment of what this WWE TNA relationship is going to be, look no further than that. Roman Reigns eliminating the world champion.
Yeah. I mean,
this relationship is for WWE to scout new talent and for TNA to get the WWE rub. That's it.
Joe, this is not the last time you're going to see Joe Hendry in WWE. He will be full-time on WWE at some point.
Oh, yeah. Let him have a nice, healthy reign with that TNA world title, have him get even more over than he already is. Once he drops the title and his TNA deal is up, and this is the great thing about this relationship, people like Jordan Grace, people like Joe Hendry, I don't think they need to go through the NXT system anymore because they already did it. Grace had a few matches at NXT. Hendry main evented an NXT pay-per-view. I think it's a good bridge so they can kind of cut that gap out. Hendry can go to the main roster when he's done with him.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. Joe Hendry, not the best pro wrestler in the world. Joe Hendry's moveset is not really all that flashy. His finisher, like I said, is a delayed chokeslam. For a guy his size to be able to deliver a chokeslam is very impressive. But the thing about Joe Hendry that makes him as big of a viral sensation as he is, he's funny. He's got way more personality than a pro wrestler should have. And the crowd loves him.
Yeah.
The crowd eats it up every single time. They sing his song. They wave their hands from side to side every time you see him. It's a visual spectacle.
I've met Joe Hendry, and he's just a little, like, an inch or two taller than me. And the fact that he's able to do a delayed one-hand chokeslam is very impressive.
Joe Hendry's going to be a star, man. He really is. I mean, he already is. He already is.
Also, nicest dude on the planet. Like, chatting with him, it felt like I was just chatting with one of my buddies. Really nice guy. I remember telling him, I just have one question for you. And he goes, yeah, of course, what's up? And I told him, like, you had a song in TNA when you were teaming with Grado. And he started chuckling because he knew what I was going to say. It was about, like, having a platonic friendship with the girl, right? He goes, yeah, here's the... And he literally, these are his exact words. Here was the fucked up thing. My first run with TNA, all the songs that I wrote, they archived them. And there's no way we can look at them now. I'm like, oh, man. He goes, yeah.
Come on, TNA. TNA, release that. Release those archives. Release it.
Yeah. But he validated me. He's like, but you're right. That song does exist. That did happen. I'm like, oh, such a cool guy.
Yeah. I want to meet him. I'm jealous. So Joe Hendry is eliminated. And now we get Roman Reigns' stare down with Braun Breaker. This is what I was hoping I would see when Braun Breaker entered this Rumble match. And we got it very brief. Braun Breaker spears the fuck out of Roman Reigns, shocks the hell out of Paul Heyman on the outside, and in a direct callback to Roman Reigns' first ever Royal Rumble match, where he'll toss 12 guys in one match, he ended the match with Big Dave, speared the fuck out of Big Dave, and Big Dave eliminated him pretty much the exact same way Roman eliminated Braun Breaker. And at first I didn't really like it because I was like, Roman's not really selling that spear as much as he should. But then I thought about it, and I saw the clip, and I watched it back again, and I was like, that's actually pretty brilliant attention to detail. So, Braun Breaker...
That being said, you have to finally agree with me. Braun Breaker is a good wrestler.
Well, I never said he was. I just thought his name was...
I've been saying Braun Breaker is a good wrestler since day one.
I never said he wasn't. I just thought his name was stupid, but... Anyway,
but here's the thing. He breaks things.
Jacob Fatu eliminates Jimmy Uso, by the way. Big Jim. And then Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu are staring down. And I realized that, you only have Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu left in the ring. Because Penta's in the corner, and Penta's been eliminated this whole time. But they just kept going. And the match just kept continuing. So
yeah, I'm probably going to hook it up to the charger, but it's okay. I'm just going to turn my camera off.
All right. So Penta's just laying in the corner while Roman and Jacob are staring down. Penta's been eliminated this whole time. They just let him keep going. I don't know. I don't know, man. Roman Reigns floors Fatu, doesn't eliminate him yet. But then at number 17, out comes, speaking of Scotland and Joe Hendry, Out comes Drew McIntyre. And
The Sinister Scotsman.
Drew is just storming down the aisle, and he looks right at Roman Reigns, does not take his eyes off of him, and Roman is just standing there like, I'm right here, son. I'm right here. And, you know, these guys, I thought this was going to be a Mania match. It's certainly still possible that it could be a Mania match, but I don't know. I don't know at this
I don't think so now. Looking at how everything played out, it was an idea for sure, but now I am genuinely wondering what they're going to do with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
I have no fucking idea. He teams up with Jacob Fatu to take down Roman Reigns. Out comes Finn Balor at number 18 with the
Which
Judgment.
I have a bone to pick with
Yeah.
that. They had him come out to that shitty new Judgment Day theme song, and nobody knew it was him. He got zero reaction. Even me, I was like, oh, Finn Balor, did he get new music? Like, and then I had to rewatch it. I was like, no, he's coming out to that shitty Judgment Day theme.
You know, why not just come out to the Prince theme song that he had? What was so wrong with that?
Yes, thank you. Also, commentary, no selling the fact that this is the first time we've seen Finn Balor since he got fucking killed in that street fight.
Yeah.
Where is Finn Balor's push? Where is that push? I'm looking for it. Look, I'm ready to come back on camera. Look at me. I'm looking. Where is it? Where's that push? I'm looking for Finn Balor's push. Where is it?
You should look. You should look in the drawers behind you.
Yeah.
Is Finn Balor's push in there?
No.
No.
Let me look in the trash can. No. Where is it? Do you know where it is?
I don't know.
Is it at your place?
I'm looking under the desk right here. I mean, like, you know, I have like. Come on. I mean, there's just a bunch of markers. There's a bunch of markers. Finn Balor's push. I mean, you know, I'm gonna open up my Tumblr. Maybe it somehow was spat out in here. No.
Hold on. Let me. No. Check Hulk Hogan's pockets. Check Hulk Hogan's pockets. He keeps a lot of fucked up shit in there.
Easy. Hulk
Check
Hogan.
Vince McMahon's phone.
Please push Finn Balor. I'm begging you. Like. That's
Remember in 2011 when Mr. Anderson wanted his freaking title shot? Finn Balor should start coming out and saying, "Where's my freaking push?"
I don't know, man. Roman Reigns starts teaming up with Penta. Who had that on their bingo cards this year?
Not me. When we get to a certain point in this match, there's a point I want to make about how star-studded this is. But we're not there yet because we have like the next 10 people. It's insane.
Well, the rest of the field up until number 30, of course. Yeah. Like, you know, it's a great fucking stacked Rumble. Shinsuke Nakamura,
the United States champion, which I will admit they're not really doing anything with right now.
Oh, not yet. They haven't figured out who he's fighting at WrestleMania. I don't want to see him versus LA Knight again because they kind of already did that.
I'm glad he's still the United States champion. People were like saying, "Oh, they only did it because they're going on tour in Japan." And they're going, "No, he's still the champion."
He's the sinister samurai, Shinsuke Nakamura. He goes in there, doesn't really last very long at all. And Penta is tossed out by Finn Balor at this point in the match. And Penta turned out to be the Iron Man of this Rumble, which, wild.
42 minutes. Good for him.
Good for him.
I'm pretty sure Tony Khan is punching air right now.
Yeah.
He's biting his pillow.
Yeah, all the while he's holding Penta's brother hostage. So, free Penta, free Ricky Starks, free Miro.
He probably has Penta tied up in his basement watching the Royal Rumble going, see, Frey, this is why I don't want to let you go. I don't want you to go and do that. And Venice is sitting there going, you are one fucking crazy motherfucker. You know that?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with him. Can you at least let me see a doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you at least let me see a doctor? I've already fed you, FedEx. Stop asking for food. But FedEx, ay, Dios mío, pinche pendejo.
Ay, Dios mío. Number 20 is the Yeetmeister, Jey Uso. And yeah, this crowd fucking loves a bit of Jey Uso. Yeet! He does the same thing his brother does, by the way. He comes out with that big Samoan lei around him, which signifies, hey, this is an important match. And while Jay's walking down to the ring, tears the lei off and all the flowers just go everywhere.
Oh, I love that.
I'm like,
that was such a cool visual.
Don't you want to save the poor flowers, man?
No, my issue with that is, why was it so zoomed out both times? I would have loved to have seen a close-up of that.
That would have been a cool visual. But Jay goes in there. The crowd is chanting yeet all over the place.
Jay Uso, he's just a tag team guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy. I mean, he doesn't really stand much of a chance in this match, considering, how many stacked the field is. He does the little cool thing.
Shots has he gotten?
A lot.
He does.
No, not over at all. Yeah, I don't know what this crowd is thinking, but Jay Uso does the cool thing. He does like the hip hop dance move, like while he like does the spit punch. Eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura, by the way. So United States champion only lasts about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Fine. Yeah. Talk about number 21.
I'm so fucking happy, dude. So okay. Just like the Women's Rumble had a big return with Alexa Bliss, number 21 is my boy, AJ Styles. And not just AJ Styles. OG CFO theme song, AJ Styles. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, this is as hard of a reset as you can get with him. And, I mean, somehow this man still has not gotten a haircut in like 9 years with this company. Like,
no, here's the thing. We were talking about that when we were watching. I don't want AJ Styles to cut his hair because I'm sure he knows that the next haircut he gets is going to be his last. Because that shit is not going to grow back.
No, it's not. It's not,
look,
unfortunately.
Man, I cried when Shawn Michaels cut his hair because it signified that my childhood was over.
Yeah.
Hell, my brother was not okay when Triple H had to cut his hair. It just signified that your childhood is over. And AJ Styles... Hey, man, I know we haven't gotten to him yet, but I see that fucking bald spot on John Cena's head. Like, AJ Styles is all we have left.
AJ is a beautiful pro wrestler, like, in every way. He is an artist. And
AJ
now
Styles. OG theme song, OG gear. He's back to being a babyface. You said it best. I'm pretty sure Triple H looked at AJ Styles and said, like, look, man, the past couple of years, it's been rough. We tried some different stuff with you, but you know what? Clean slate. Let's just start all over. Go back to what you're doing best, because that's all we really need from AJ Styles.
Let's get back. Let's get back to what you looked like when you were WWE champion for over a year.
Yeah,
because that was. I mean, as much as I hated that Vince McMahon was booking AJ Styles like he was an upper mid-card guy as the WWE champion, like, it was a pretty magical run. He had a lot of really good matches over that year. But this version of AJ Styles in general, I mean, unless you ask him his preferred terrain on Earth, he is a very intelligent individual. So Triple H would not be bringing AJ Styles back if he didn't have some sort of solid plan for him.
Because here's the thing. The past couple years, I don't hate what they were doing with AJ Styles. His new theme song actually grew on me. The black gear was growing on me.
Same.
They were doing something different with him. But you know what? When I heard that old music hit, when I saw my favorite gear, honestly, the gloves with the pants, that's my favorite AJ Styles look. I was like, you know what? It's best just a clean slate. Because AJ Styles has been teasing retirement. Let his last run just be no more gimmicks, no more any of that. He was good as a heel, but just babyface AJ Styles, phenomenal one. That's all we need. Listen, AJ Styles is one of the last wrestlers left from my childhood. Let me enjoy him as he is.
Exactly.
And was this just me, or did this just feel like a mirror image of his 2016 debut? He came in, big pop. He got a back body drop from somebody, and
from Jacob Fatu.
He sold it the same way he sold Ryback's back body drop.
That's a pretty sexy match on paper too. AJ Styles versus Jacob Fatu. Like, AJ would be bumping his ass off for the Samoan Werewolf. Like, he'd make him look like a killer. But yeah, so thrilled that AJ Styles is back where he belongs. Can't wait to see what his final run looks like. I'm sure he has a good couple years left in the tank. So I'm just going to enjoy him while we can. And he's going to be a dream match machine until he decides to call it quits for good. But up next at number 22, who is number 22? Oh, Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. One big son of a bitch. Miraculous, because Jacob Fatu brutalized him last week with so many Umaga hip attacks, bloodied up Braun Strowman, and now here he is marching down the aisle
and he eliminates Jacob Fatu all by himself. That's why they kept Fatu in the ring and not had Roman Reigns eliminate him earlier, was so they could get this spot with Braun Strowman. And Jacob Fatu, out of frustration, is just tearing apart the ringside area, throws Pat McAfee's chair towards the ring. Pat McAfee's sitting there like, the chair is yours. You can have it. That's all good. I can stand. And Michael Cole's like, Pat, where are the cops in your city?
You ask Pat McAfee like he runs Indianapolis, like he's the mayor of Indianapolis.
Correct.
If I was Pat McAfee, I'd be like, "What the fuck, bro? I just live here."
I mean, they probably would vote for him. I don't know. He turned out to be a legend for the Colts just by kicking the football for a living. So out comes number 23, and you know what, Tomas, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Number 23 is John Cena.
Actually,
for the last time.
Actually, you know what? They played music, and I actually didn't see anybody come out. It was weird. They pointed the camera like there was somebody there, but it was just I couldn't see him. I'm coping with comedy here, man. I'm coping with comedy.
Like I was saying, number 23 is John Cena making his last Royal Rumble appearance. And you know what? I heard Cena's music. I said, here we go. But then I just kind of sat there and I looked at him and I just smiled. I'm like, it begins. The retirement tour begins. Cena runs to the ring. He immediately eliminates Braun Strowman.
On his own.
Cena's still a strong motherfucker. But then something unfortunate happens. And I saw the video and I feel so bad. He gives Finn Balor the attitude adjustment and Braun Strowman misses it. And Strowman immediately turns around and he goes, fuck. Like he was so mad that he didn't catch Finn Balor.
Did not catch Finn Balor properly. Balor almost landed on his fucking neck. Thank God he's okay. Cena was doing this all without, he still had his Indianapolis last time is now merch on.
Like he had to push that merch a little more before he took it off.
Cena was so excited when he tossed Strowman out. He was like, that's one! That's one! We'll get into this, but ever since John Cena became Hollywood, his facial expressions have gotten so much more goofy. Do you remember when he challenged Roman Reigns at SummerSlam a few years ago for the title, and he puts Roman through an announce table or something, and then Michael Cole is yelling out at him to grab him and get the title? John's like selling, and then Michael Cole's like, John, what? Huh?
Yeah. We'll get more into Cena's goofy ass faces later, because this is where shit really hits the fan, because Cena comes face to face with Roman Reigns. Former SummerSlam main event there. The ticker starts going. 1, 3, 2, 1. CM Punk.
24.
24. CM Punk. Shit's really starting to hit the fan. John Cena, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk in 2025. What could get better than this? I'll tell you what. Number 25, Seth freaking Rollins.
And those two entrants in succession, John Cena marked out for Cena and for Punk and Rollins. Like, and you got to remember, Cena's been a fan. He started off as a fan, just like all of us, right? So, of course, he's going to mark out.
So, look who's in the ring right now. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Jey Uso. This is some shit you do in 2K24. This is real life.
It's fantasy booking at its finest. But as stacked as the Rumble is, 26 is a number that has never produced any winner. So you kind of got to have a calm down and a buzzkill. And you want to talk about the biggest buzzkill in the industry, Dominic Mysterio at 26. And
this guy is just a heat magnet. This was, honestly, when all three of these guys came out, I had a feeling like, it's going to be Dirty Dom next. And I'm going to be so happy. And it was, and I was.
Hit a frog splash on John Cena, and he starts flexing like crazy. And I'm like,
he's the most dangerous man in this match.
Sleazebag, man. Absolute sleazebag.
The most dangerous man in this match.
And then he does the smartest thing he's done in his entire career, and then he tries to go and suplex Roman Reigns. That does not work. I mean, Roman should be very, very concerned because Dom served hard times. I mean,
Dirty Dom should have lifted Cena, Rollins, Punk, Reigns, and freaking Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre all at once and just threw him out of the ring.
He should have. I
He
mean,
should have.
Roman's lucky that Dom didn't go down armed at all. I mean,
Yeah.
he's usually armed and dangerous on a daily basis. So,
You know what? Dirty Dom has over all those guys just listed. He served time.
He
CM
served-
Punk never served time.
he
John
served
Cena
hard
never served
times.
time. Roman Reigns never served time. Hey, it's a good thing Jacob Fatu got eliminated before this because Dirty Dom would have made him his bitch.
No, I think he got it the other way around because I think Jacob Fatu legitimately served some prison time at one point
No,
or another.
I'm just saying, like Dirty Dom would have ended Jacob Fatu's career.
And I think it's also so funny how Wade Barrett was pondering if Dominic Mysterio could win, and he was getting so excited to see Dominic Mysterio, and Michael Cole was like, "Hey, what do you see in this little asshole? What do you see in
he
this little
should've.
punk?" You know?
Dom should have won.
He should
What are you
have.
talking about?
Out comes Sami Zayn at number 27. He goes to Drew McIntyre, runs at him, and hits him with one hell of a kick. And
Damn
then
right he did.
he runs over to his friend Seth Rollins, hits him with one hell of a kick as well. He's running wild. Zayn gets in there, and the ring is really starting to fill up for the end of this Rumble. Number 28 is the bisexual Undertaker himself, Damian Priest.
Are you ready to all rise for the outlaw?
All rise for the punishment.
All rise for the rock star. All rise for the bad guy. Damian Priest, SmackDown's newest superstar, looking very forward to seeing what he's doing on SmackDown. Former World Heavyweight Champion. And here we are, down to the last two. And I'm like, okay, we haven't gotten LA Knight, so I knew LA Knight was going to be number 29. LA Knight comes out there to a huge pop. LA Knight.
Yeah.
And then, okay, wait, no. Okay, so number 30 is important before I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Number 30 hits, and I fucking forgot about Logan Paul. And let me tell you, man.
Hey, Tomas.
Fucking heat. He knew how to get the fucking heat.
I didn't know abortions could enter a Royal Rumble match. You know, it's...
I don't know what you want me to say, man. I don't like him either. So
Logan Paul is a stain. His energy drinks are bullshit. You know, it's... I hate to say how good he is at this pro wrestling thing because he understands it. He gets it. Doesn't mean I have to like him.
You, man, Heat Machine. He runs to the ring, and I don't know what the sign said, but he grabbed a fan sign and just ripped it up in front of him.
It probably was just a Gatorade logo.
Like this is peak heat Logan. Like he knows how to get the heat. I mean, I don't know what his plans are for WrestleMania yet, but here he is. I really have nothing to say about it, but kind of reignites his old feud with LA Knight. And okay, this is something where something very weird happens here, and I thought it was strange.
Damian Priest had eliminated Dominic Mysterio before that. By the way, he hit him with a South of Heaven choke slam, and then chucked his former friend over the top rope.
He should have hit him with hit the lights.
Hit the lights. He should have hit him with a crossroads.
Hit the lights.
Yeah, okay, I wish he brought back hit the lights.
Knight and Logan are reigniting their feud, and also they were wearing matching attire. They should become a tag team, honestly.
That's a fucking random ass team.
So, okay, they're fighting, and I noticed this. So, I don't even know how this happened. I don't know if this was supposed to me, it looked like it was supposed to happen. But I guess Knight and Logan got in the way of Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, and Priest knocks McIntyre off the top rope, and he's eliminated. And I kind of thought, you know what? For Drew McIntyre, I thought he was going to make it to Final Four. That felt a little underwhelming.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, so apparently Drew McIntyre stormed into the back and he was screaming and cursing. And the only thing people caught was somebody had to get their moves in. Somebody has heat with Drew McIntyre. I don't know who. I don't know what. Something's going on there. It sounds like petty backstage drama. Look, I love Drew McIntyre. Best character in the business right now. It's a little hot-headed. He's known for getting really fucking upset over the littlest things. Whatever this issue is, I hope it gets smoothed out. Because honestly, It sounds really childish.
Yeah. I mean, Drew did just sign a fat contract with WWE, and The Rock gifted him a custom sword, like as a thank you gift for signing with WWE again. Logan Paul does, he does like the Kofi Kingston bullshit where he jumps over to the announce table, then he jumps to the ring steps. AJ Styles is going for a phenomenal forearm, and Logan Paul breaks my fucking heart by pulling him off the top rope into the floor. I am honestly hopeful that the plan for Mania is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Because number one, I mean, I think that would be, feelings aside, I think that would be a very athletically tremendous match. I think, again, I think it's a big spot for AJ too. I mean, say what you want about Logan Paul. I've said plenty about Logan Paul, but his matches are draws.
I guess we'll see what happens on the next couple episodes of TV, because it is important to point out that Logan Paul just got moved to Raw, and they did make it a really big deal that he's on Raw now. So unless they really want him to feud on someone with Raw, like, again, we'll see. We have a lot of time between now and Mania. That's the good thing about it being like more than 6 weeks away. Not the whole card doesn't have to be announced tonight. We still have Elimination Chamber. We'll see what happens with that.
No way.
That is definitely an idea that they got there.
So now there's 6 guys left. So, well, LA Knight had eliminated Damian Priest before that. AJ Styles got his revenge from last year's WrestleMania by eliminating LA Knight. And then Logan Paul eliminated AJ. So AJ finished 7th, which I think is awesome. I mean, it's better than I would have expected AJ to finish at. So
he was in there for 21 minutes.
He was, and he looked fucking phenomenal. I mean, that's what he is.
This. Punk, Rollins, Jay, Cena, Zayn, Logan.
I thought Zayn was eliminated by that point.
Was he?
He might have been.
We didn't talk about that spot. That's an important spot. Jay accidentally super kicked Zayn off the apron.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that was before Logan Paul ever made it to the ring. You're right.
And the look on Jay's face is like, oh shit. He just eliminated his honorary Uce.
He eliminated his brother. He eliminated his boy. I mean, Sami Zayn is like his new twin. You know? Like, so yeah, to your point, stacked final 6. Punk nails Logan Paul with a GTS. Rollins hits a pedigree on Jay, super kicks CM Punk. Reigns Superman punch on Cena. Rollins hits a curb stomp on both Cena and Punk. And then we get the stare down between Reigns and Rollins. And this is why Indianapolis is starting to become a pretty storied wrestling city. The Shield made their debut in this city in 2012 at Survivor Series. Seth Rollins was the plan B, broke up the Shield in Indianapolis. The Shield reunited in 2019 at Fastlane in Indianapolis.
Yep.
Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins now standing in the middle of the ring. Rollins said, "This is where it starts, and this is where I'm going to end you. This is where I'm going to fucking end you, Roman."
Was it just me?
Like that.
Or was there an unnecessary amount of sexual tension during this part? Just, for the love of God, would you guys just make out already?
Right? I mean,
you know how badly they wanted to. Either them or Punk and Rollins.
I mean,
like, just think about it. If you asked Seth Rollins, why do you hate Roman Reigns so much? He would say, oh, because he's a tyrannical asshole. It's like, okay, Roman, why do you hate Seth so much? Reigns would probably go, because he hurt my feelings 10 years ago. It's like, these two just need to fucking make out already.
These
like,
guys need to
the
make
sexual
up.
tension was fucking real.
Kiss and make up and grow up already. But these guys are going for big moves on each other. They're not really hitting any in the ring. They're leaning on the top rope. CM Punk sneaks up from behind both of them. Reigns and Rollins both tumble to the floor. And for the first time in his career, Roman Reigns has not made the Final Four in the Rumble.
Yeah.
That's how stats this was.
Yeah.
You know, Reigns and Rollins are both out. CM Punk then... oh, my heart is broken. Logan Paul sneaks up behind CM Punk and tosses him over the top rope. But then this is where... where things get interesting on the outside.
Yeah, before you go into that, this happened so fast that I didn't even have time to process what happened. Before you know it, Reigns and Rollins are out, and I was like, oh my God, and then Punk's out. And then I was heartbroken because Punk was my pick.
Yeah. I mean, Punk's probably not going to win the Rumble until 2027 because next year's in Saudi Arabia. And you know that CM Punk is absolutely not going to want to fucking go. So...
Unless he does.
Yeah, so unless he does, possibly. I mean, I can't confirm or deny. But then the 3 men on the outside who were just eliminated, the 3 big egos, start getting into a tizzy. Roman and Punk.
Sorry, before you go into this next part, I see Reigns look over at Punk, and he goes something along the lines of like, we just fucking talked about this. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Reigns?
You're not on the same team. Not on the same team.
Yeah, it's like that was weird. And then
Not anymore. Not anymore. Roman, you've won a Rumble match before. You know it's every man for himself.
talk about what happened next, because this was so fucking unnecessary.
Dude, Seth Rollins blindsides Roman Reigns with a curb stomp. On the floor, Roman Reigns is not moving. Punk and Rollins are just like about to get physical.
Not just a curb stomp on the floor, a double-footed curb stomp on the floor. I've never seen Seth Rollins do that before. That was so unnecessary.
And then what happens is Seth and Punk have to be separated. They try to throw hands at each other, but they can't. They can't reach each other. There's too many refs and officials like in the way. Rollins then sees Roman, and he can't help himself. Just like Roman couldn't help himself at WrestleMania 40, and that's what caused him to lose the Undisputed title, hitting Rollins with the chair. Seth then curb stomps the fucking shit out of Roman Reigns on the steel stairs. And Paul Heyman, not before he flips the bird at Paul Heyman. And it's safe to say, I think Seth Rollins is heel again. I think the heel turn has been completed. So.
Let's see what happens on Raw tonight. I just think all three of these guys just hate each other so much. It cannot be contained. Two things I want to say. Number one, again, all three of these guys just need to make out. Oh my God, the sexual tension was real during this segment. And number two, what does all of this mean? I know what people have been saying. Three-way at Mania, okay. But why are you doing a triple threat just to have a triple threat? A triple threat with nothing on the line just feels weird. So we'll see what happens. If you're asking me right here, right now, after the Rumble, my idea, triple threat, yes. Winner gets a world title shot.
Yeah, but you also got to factor in maybe what happens is, well, because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sit here and fantasy book or predict anything because we'll probably be here for 7 hours. But
well, you know, Rollins and Punk are going to be in the Elimination Chamber. We know that much.
I think Reigns is going to be in it too.
Because, he's not on Raw. That's not for his fucking title.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, because the winner.
Bullshit if they do.
No, it's going to be for the SmackDown title because the winner of the Royal Rumble is challenging Gunther. I can tell you that much. 1,000% sure he's challenging Gunther. So, they're going to want to load up that chamber because it's in the Sky Dome. They're going to want to put as many big names in that chamber as possible.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be fucking bullshit because you're going to have people from the other show going for a title that's not theirs. Yeah, I know.
Well, they've been doing that for the past couple of years, though, so I don't know. I mean... I
know. I'm just being fucking...
You're being pedantic. You're being pedantic here.
Damn right I am.
Who would have predicted this final three? Main event Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul. Who could have predicted that?
Okay, so just like the women's, once I had time to process what just fucking happened with Punk and Reigns and Rollins, when they went back in the ring, I was like, holy fucking shit. In my mind, my heart started racing. And let me tell you something about myself. This usually only happens for the Royal Rumble, but I've seen a lot of fucked up Rumbles in my time. 2015, 2014, hell, even 2016. When I foresee something really bad happening, I realize getting all worked up, getting all riled up, just yelling isn't going to change anything. So I just shut down and get really quiet. It's known as quiet mode. And for this last stretch of the match, I was quiet mode because I'm like, okay, this goes one of three ways. Number one, John Cena wins. It's not what I wanted, but it's the safe route. Number two, Logan wins, and we all collectively have a meltdown. Number three, Jey Uso pulls the miracle of the decade. So I was like, I'm going to let this play out. Jey and Logan have a face off, which is pretty cool.
A face down?
Jey yeets at him. They fight for a little bit. Cena gets involved, backs him up in the corner. Cena is pushing 50, but he is still able to lift Logan and Jey on his shoulders for a double attitude adjustment.
Shades of WrestleMania 25. Yep.
Thank you. Right back to my childhood. That spot took me. Jey is able to get off, and I love this spot right here because he super kicks the fuck out of Logan. Logan sold it beautifully, mind you. And Cena clotheslined Logan over the top rope, eliminating him. And here we are to Cena and Jay. And when I saw this image, one sentence was in my mind. This is not Cena's Rumble to win.
Specifically, you said it's not fair if John Cena wins. And again, I could never have predicted this. Jey Uso was not in the forefront of my mind at all.
I had two thoughts. Not fair for Cena to win, and then after it really settled in, that's when the second statement came in my mind. This is not Cena's Rumble to win.
Which is insane, because I don't think anybody had Jey Uso like as one of their top picks to win the Rumble. Monster was the only one who really had some sense in his brain about Jey Uso. He's like, don't sleep on him, because we should have seen it. Like, I think I even said Saturday night's main event, Jey Uso loses to Gunther again, and I'm like, people are really complaining a lot about Jey Uso not getting this shot against Gunther, and he's not winning the big one. Why not put him against Gunther at WrestleMania? Why not?
If this was Jay and Punk, Jay and Rollins, Jay and Reigns especially, then, I would have been a little more split down the middle about it, or in a little more leaning towards the other side. But when it was Cena and Jay, I was like, this is not Cena's Rumble to win, because John Cena has the opportunity of a lifetime to put over the next big star on his way out. So I sat there and I go, we're going to see this pay out. We're going to see how this plays out. And what we got was the most dramatic Royal Rumble finish probably since Michaels and Undertaker.
So Cena on the apron with Jay. After he hits, part of his 5 moves of doom, hits the prototype slam, hits the 5-knuckle shuffle, goes for the attitude adjustment, Jay with a super kick, and they both end up on the apron. Jay punches the crap out of Cena, and Cena's like dangling.
Real quick, before we go on to that, I love this spot because it made sense. Logic in a Royal Rumble match, you would have known. Because Cena and Jay look at each other, and then Cena tries to get back in the ring and says, no, motherfucker, get back out here. Jay tries to get back in the ring, and Cena does the same. It's like, they both tried the obvious. I need to get back in the ring. But when they both stopped each other, it was like, you know what? This is the standoff.
And all the while, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are sitting there like, I don't know who to root for. I don't know who to root for, because both guys as winners would have told a great story. So
and this is where Cena's goofy ass selling comes into play, because Cena, he's on the apron. He looks at the audience. He looks at Jay. He looks at the ground. He was like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? This fool acted like he never saw the ground before in his life.
Think about it, though, Tomas. John Cena has been in how many Royal Rumbles in his career? Quite a few. Yeah. He should know that this is like the most, the biggest, most spectacular game of the floor is lava of all time. He knows. He knows what the ground is, and he's like, if I hit the lava, I burn, and I'm done. I'm toast.
And then what you were about to say, they trade a couple of punches. Jay hits a super kick, and then Cena turns into a fucking trapeze artist, because he grabs the rope with one hand and he just tilts around the apron.
It's like a saloon door.
My heart stopped. My heart stopped for a split second when that happened. And Cena recovers, and then Jay goes for another super kick. Cena turns into the attitude adjustment. I'm like, fuck, this is it. Jay slides off of Cena's shoulders and just shoves him off the top rope.
And Cena hits the floor. Cena hits the floor, and he's like,
the realization set in, and I jumped for joy. Jey Uso is the winner of the 2025 Royal Rumble match, and you couldn't ask for a more unpredictable outcome than that. And
Jay himself couldn't believe it. Jay himself was like, "Oh shit, I did it."
You asked about Mark Henry earlier. You know where Mark Henry was? He was with Rikishi, and a lot of WWE legends were watching the Royal Rumble, and Henry recorded Rikishi's reaction. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Well, now Rikishi can stop bitching and moaning that Triple H is not booking his son properly. So
this was awesome. This was an awesome finish, an awesome Rumble. And how can you not be happy for Jey Uso? We're about to get into this, aren't we?
Yep.
Floor is yours.
Okay. For months and months now, I have seen so many of you wrestling fans go online, especially after Saturday night's main event, and they were like, when the fuck is Jey Uso going to win the big one? Because he has had chance after chance after chance after chance, and he continuously proves himself, he proves himself to be like a hard worker. He moves a lot of merch for this company, which is a huge factor to take into consideration when you pick a winner of the Royal Rumble. Jey Uso makes this company a lot of money.
And on top of all of that, he was a tag team wrestler with a twin brother who managed to get himself over.
Yeah, and he's been doing that since COVID. He's been doing that when Roman Reigns first won the Universal title in 2020. And his first opponent was Jey Uso. And that's when he started using that moniker. And that feud in 2020, like looking back in hindsight, that was the start of it. That was just the beginning. And for so long, I was like, man, why is Jey Uso getting this shot? This is so weird to me. But Jey Uso has continuously, day in and day out, provided solid work for this company. He continuously, he's over with the crowd. Everybody's yeeting, doing the thing. It's a big spectacle. Goes through the crowd just like the Shield. It's quite a visual. It is like you can't take your eyes off of this guy. And in the past, we have had a promoter who has kind of willfully turned a blind eye to a wrestler's popularity. When you think back to
let's list a few.
Yeah,
Bryan Danielson, Zack Ryder, Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles to an extent, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, all these people, super popular with the crowd. Never took a chance on any of them. This is Triple H finally saying, I'm listening to the fans. Hell, even CM Punk back in 2011. This was Triple H saying, I'm listening to the fans. And even though this was star-studded, Reigns, McIntyre, Rollins, Punk, Cena, even a social media megastar like Logan Paul, he said, no, Jey is the fan favorite. I'm going with Jey. He does that. And what have I been hearing the past 48 hours? Worst Rumble ever. Why you go with Jey Uso? All he does is super kicks. He can't wrestle. He's just a gimmick. Like that.
You assholes do not get to complain about this. Because you are the ones who have been asking for Jey Uso to get a chance. And now that he has won the Royal Rumble match, which is a huge fucking achievement for any wrestler, you are saying, no, we don't want this because this is John Cena's final year. He should have won the Royal Rumble. And yeah, John Cena was my pick going in. I'm not going to lie. Tomas and I have been going back and forth about this for weeks. And I was like, how else do you get to Cena and Cody? I fucking forgot about the Elimination Chamber. I fucking forgot about that.
And even then, Cena might not even win that. But regardless, it's like, and then you look at Cena. How many people has Cena buried over the years? Wyatt, Rusev, Damian Sandow,
Ryback,
to the Punk too. Not, but he didn't bury Punk, but like they preferred Punk over Cena, Umaga,
Kevin Owens to an extent.
All these people that people said like they should have went over Cena. They should have went over Cena. Blah, 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 blah. You guys have been yeeting with Jey Uso for well over a year. The fans are what got Jey Uso over. And you're going to fucking turn your back on him? What the fuck? You guys don't deserve to be Jey Uso fans.
No, you don't. Because I'll tell you the truth. Nobody in that stadium looked like they were sad that Jey Uso won. It looked like there was an initial shock that Jey Uso just pulled off the biggest upset in Royal Rumble history since 2006. And, everybody's like, oh, wait, what? No, oh, okay, yay, Jey Uso won. That was kind of the vibe I was getting.
Yeah, you want to take it a step further? Look at 2014. Remember when we were all saying Roman Reigns should eliminate Batista, get the biggest win ever, and they didn't do it? Cena, they easily just could have went, you know what? No, Cena's the safer bet. He's the draw. Triple H is taking a chance on Jay. Isn't this what we want as wrestling fans?
And better yet,
Isn't this what we've been begging for the better half of 15 years?
and even for the past couple of months, Survivor Series War Games, first episode of Raw on Netflix, both Saturday night's main events. You guys have been complaining, and we've criticized Hunter for this booking too. He's played it very safe over the past couple months. Him picking John Cena to win this Royal Rumble match validates all those criticisms. And now he takes a chance on Jey Uso, a guy who hasn't really been... He's been in the main event scene, but now he's getting over the hump. He wins the Rumble. That's fucking awesome. Good for fucking Jay, man.
You know what? Yeah, Jay had one stinker of a match last year at WrestleMania. You know what? I can name 20 stinkers Cena has had. I can name 30 stinkers that Roman Reigns has had. Hell, I can name 10 stinkers CM Punk has had.
You want to know why the stinker? You want to know why Jay and Jimmy last year was a stinker? Because you can't put two guys in the ring who have the exact same moveset and expect a dynamic storytelling contest. Even though they're brothers. I am my brother's keeper. Great video package. The match itself was not entertaining because it got boring really quick. Because those guys have the same exact moves.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Fine. We could literally go back and forth this all night long. But you know what else? Bryan Danielson. You know what Bryan Danielson's moveset in WWE was? Kicks in the corner, running dropkick in the corner, backflip, running elbow, yes lock, Busaiku knee. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So what's the fucking difference? What was the fucking difference?
Is Jey Uso the best professional wrestler in the world? No. No, he's not. But a recurring theme throughout this entire podcast, going back to what we were saying about Joe Hendry, Jey Uso, again, his matches don't light the world on fire, but they are still solid enough. Jey Uso puts in the work, but the most important thing is that the crowd adores a bit of Jey Uso.
Yeah.
The Yeet thing when he was at the press conference, drunk off his high horse, that was so endearing.
Yeah.
They love this guy. And now when he wins the Rumble, and because he's not John Cena, people are suddenly turning on him? I don't get it.
Yeah. Look even to the Women's Royal Rumble. You know what? Same thing with Roxanne Perez and Charlotte. If Roxanne Perez would have pulled off that upset of the century, it would have taken me off guard, sure. But I would have been so happy for Roxanne Perez. When you take this is a step above that. This is Jey Uso, who's been in the WWE for 15 years, and Gunta even said it in his promo against them. You're just a tag team guy. You know what they were telling Bryan Danielson during his climb to the top? You're a B-plus player. You're just an indie guy. You're an internet darling. All the stuff that Miz would say about him. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying from here until WrestleMania. You either ride with fucking Jey Uso or you don't.
The story is there. Jey Uso is absolutely going to challenge Gunther. Like anybody, like even though a match with him and Cody would be very interesting and very
That's what
different.
I was gonna say. I also think Jay's gonna go for Gunta, but I look very forward to the promo he's gonna cut on Cody on SmackDown. And honestly, I'd be lying if I said that match didn't catch my attention.
Yeah, those guys were tag team champions. Cody and Jay at that press conference, both guys are so fucking drunk. That's where Yeet was born.
Let me guess. Greatest press conference ever.
Yes. Yeet. Then Cody applauds.
So, with that being said, I think the point we're trying to make it here is Jey Uso's over. Jey Uso's great. Quit fucking bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
Don't mess with wrestling fans. We don't even like wrestling.
And be happy that you have a promoter who actually listens to you now.
Yeah.
Because I swear on all that is holy, if Vince McMahon somehow was still running WWE, if he found out that this was John Cena's retirement and this was his last Rumble, no fucking question Cena would have won.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And don't get it twisted, everybody. If John Cena would have won, I would have been happy. But there would have been a part of me going, man, this was a missed opportunity. And thankfully, I think even Cena knows that. Cena's not an idiot. He knows what he wants to do with his retirement run. And I'm pretty sure a big chunk of this retirement run is going to be putting people over. I have my idea for Cena, and I'm sticking with that idea. And speaking of Cena cut a very passionate promo at the press conference where he, declared for the Elimination Chamber. And then after that, he's acknowledging, like, the He's acknowledging, he's reading the room very well, and he's saying, I'm going to be in the chamber, and you know what? The other 5 people, you get free range to talk shit about me because I'm going to go filming a movie. But I'm going to go to the chamber. I'm going to win the chamber because I'm going to win 17. I'm not winning 17 for my own ego. I'm going to win 17 so I can shake the hand of the man who does 18. That sent chills down my spine.
Yeah. Now, is Cena going to wrestle Cody at Mania? I think so. Is he going to beat Cody? I don't think so. I think it's all about the chase. It is all about the chase. But as far as Jey Uso is concerned, I think him and Gunther is a lock. And Jey Uso is winning the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. So, yeah. I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. He's worked hard for this. And if you don't
Jey Uso haters right now, if Jey Uso wins the title in Mania, I don't want to see a single one of you eating with him.
Now, if Jey Uso loses against Gunther, then you guys have a right to complain.
Fair enough.
Then you have a right, because after he wins the Rumble and he fails again, like, yeah, I'm with you. Jey should win 1,000%. But yeah, what a
you ready for the
Rumble.
final verdict? For the final verdict?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this Royal Rumble a 9 out of 10.
I am too. This was an all-timer.
This was great.
An all-timer Rumble.
These Royal Rumbles, especially the men's, this is what the Royal Rumble's all about. So much fun. It's, the nostalgia is great. I love returns. I love surprises. But that final sequence between Jey and Cena, best final Rumble moments since Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Oh, big time. And the Rumble match itself was super entertaining. You had your comedy moments. You had your awesome pop with Joe Hendry in there. You had returns. You had surprises. You had Iron Man performances in both matches. Like, that's what the Royal Rumble should be. That's what it's all about. And I'm so excited to be kicking off this WrestleMania season with you and everybody else. Wish I was going to Mania, but, they're charging out the ass for us to actually make it there. But hit that subscribe button if you're new. Tap that thumbs up as well. I'm going to have a very special surprise planned for all of you once I hit 2,000. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your uncle's family, tell everybody to stop by here.
Up next in the retrospective is the Great American Bash. We will be looking at Elimination Chamber. And, we have AEW Revolution.
Yeah.
That's a thing, isn't it? That's thing.
John Moxley versus Cope.
What even is AEW anymore?
WWE is where it's at, man. I don't know about you. And if you're riding Tony Khan's dick, I'm sorry. But WWE is where it's at.
Be a fan of both. I'm still technically a fan of both. But if you're going to sit there and say AEW is better than WWE right now, I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
A false statement. That's just a false statement.
That's just wrong. That is wrong. And anybody who says otherwise, anybody who says that AEW is better right now is a liar.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you all so much again for tuning in. Commence that back talk. Talk to you guys soon.